6 a.m. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The NFL trade deadline is come and gone, but the Titans did not make another move outside of Draymond Jones. General Manager Mike Borgonzi is scheduled to meet with the media today, coming up at 10 a.m. this morning. A lot of trades across the NFL, highlighted by the Jets making two big trades, trading two-time All-Pro cornerback Sauce Gardner to the Colts for wide receiver A.D. Mitchell and a first-round pick both in 2026 and 2027. The Jets also traded All-Pro defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys for defensive lineman Motzie Smith, a 2026 second-round draft pick, as well as a 2027 first-round pick. And the Saints traded wide receiver Rashid Shaheed to the Seahawks for a fourth and fifth-round picks in 2026. In other NFL news, Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon announced yesterday that backup quarterback Jacoby Brissett will start this Sunday against the Seahawks and will continue to start as long as Kyler Murray and his return remains unclear. In college football, the first college football playoff rankings were unveiled yesterday. Ohio State is the number one ranked team in the country, and then Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, BYU, Texas Tech, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas, and Oklahoma round out the top 12-team list. Vanderbilt falls just outside at number 16, and Tennessee just barely screeches in, coming in at number 25. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into your Wednesday morning on 104.5 The Zone. This is Ramon and Will. We're fueled by Scooter's Coffee, which is in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. And we're open for your reaction this morning. 615-737-1045 to an NFL trade deadline that lived up to the hype. We do this thing every year where we go into the NFL trade deadline, and people, meaning reporters and fans and, I don't know, everybody in between, acts like it's going to be like the NBA trade deadline, that it's going to be spicy, that it's going to be unexpected, that it's going to be fun. For once, kind of lived up to the hype. Yesterday, some crazy moves the Titans didn't make anymore, but we have got all the reaction that you need this morning. Streaming the show live, 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. An explosive trade deadline has come and gone. Ramon Foster, good morning.
Yes, it has. I thought it was good. I thought it was entertaining. It was a couple of wow moments in it. I didn't expect it to be that wow yesterday, man, especially with the big names that they were. Now what they turn into is going to be a totally different story, because we're talking about first-round draft picks being given up. Numerous ones, man. I didn't have that on my radar. NFL said NBA, college basketball, college football playoffs rankings. Watch this.
Hold my beer.
Watch this real quick. That was a lot of that yesterday, wasn't it? I just realized this. It was a lot of everything. Women's basketball was playing during work hours. That was a ton going on yesterday.
It's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Titans did not have anything else going on. Are you content with the return the Tennessee Titans received for a couple of veteran players as they set up for next year's NFL draft?
Are we content?
Are you content with the return the Titans got?
I was hoping for something else. I think I got to divide this job of us discussing it versus what I know reality is for a team, too. That's the other side of it. I'd love to have seen a second rounder from somebody be put in there, but the reality of it is teams are going to move at their own pace. And I guess this is a question that we'll have to talk about and answer is what other teams have done that are in the same boat as you, meaning like the Jets. You know, what's the differences in their decision making versus what the Titans chose not to do? It's kind of the way I was looking at it yesterday. It's like, oh, wow, the Jets have been very aggressive. The Jets are already letting their fan base know and everybody else know, like, man, this is going to be something that needs to be watched up until 2027 to see how they use these draft picks and if it actually works. Versus the Titans situation, it's just like, okay, well, are they trying to be more strategic? Is this the rebuild that they had in mind, or did nobody offer anything to them that they thought that they felt like they should have taken? I don't know. No, there's not a Sauce Gardner on this team other than Jeff, and they already had a hard no on Jeff.
Yeah, there's a Quinnen Williams on the team. His name's Jeffrey Simmons. We will talk about that. We will talk about the Sauce Gardner trade to the Colts from both perspectives, as well as the Quinnen Williams trade to the Dallas Cowboys. But again, here are the picks that you've got in the 2026 NFL Draft after the trade deadline at today's check, basically. I mean, obviously, you're not going to make any moves during the season, but for now, you have first, second, third, fourth round picks of your own. You have your own fifth. You have the Jets' fifth. You have, that also could become a fourth, which we'll talk about what those conditions are. You have 2 sixths, yourselves and Baltimore's, and you have a seventh. I think the thing that people have got to realize with the Jeffrey Simmons situation, with the Titans needing more draft capital, is that you're going to have all of the free agency period and the pre-draft process to still make moves if you want to. For now, I feel like the Titans have got to feel okay about where they are. And they have got those picks. They've got 9 selections at the moment. If you use those 9 selections in the same way that you did the 2025 NFL Draft, the Titans are going to be a better football team in 2026. There's just no even debating it. Like, the NFL is set up to where if you are bad for long enough, if you just keep making good draft picks, you will get better. There is no doubt. You have to. If you keep drafting well, you will eventually get better. And the Titans, with the second most cap space in the league as well, will have a lot to work with.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's fascinating, too, when we get into this Jets conversation about what their last 10 years have been, too. I think it's super unique when you look at where they are, what they've attempted to do, how many coaches they've gone through. And just the process, like you said, is a little bit different when I guess you got money to work with going into free agency, too. I know the Jets are going to now since they offloaded a few of those stars that they have on their teams. But you can't cry about what you don't have because you never had it right now. I guess I saw yesterday there was a few Titans reporters who were putting out polls about, hey, what do you think about this trade and the Jeffrey Simmons and Quinnen Williams and stuff like that?
Yep.
When you look at what the Jets did right now versus what the Titans are doing, you just kind of have to accept it. That's why I tell people, like, until you see what this vision is over 1, 2, 3, 4 years.
One of the ways to skin a cat.
Yeah. I just wonder how much of a magician that you are, though, too. So yeah.
The trades you're referencing and the Twitter poll that you're referencing that I saw, first of all, we'll talk about this from Indy's perspective coming up in about 10 minutes, but the Colts got Sauce Gardner, and the Jets got a 2026 first-round pick and a 2027 first-round pick and wide receiver A.D. Mitchell. Then they traded Quinnen Williams, a comparable player to Jeffrey Simmons, for a first-round pick and a second-round pick. Now, the one is a future one. The 2 is next year's 2. And they also get Maisie Smith, a young defensive tackle as well. So the Jets in 2027 will have 3 first-round picks. Mike Herndon put out a Twitter poll that said, would you trade Jeffrey Simmons for 2 first-round picks? 83% of people said yes. 17% of people said no. I do feel like that once you put draft pick compensation that's on the table and tangible with these moves, Ramon, but then you also detach the emotion from it and you watch someone else go through this and you view this from the unemotional lens, I think fans are always going to like the draft pick compensation more when you're bad.
Yeah.
I think when push comes to shove, and if the Titans had really traded Jeffrey Simmons yesterday, I don't think close to 83% of fans would have liked it. Because then you've got to come to terms with the emotion of a Twitter post saying, hey guys, really enjoyed my time here. You've got to look at all the pictures. You've got to get rid of your Jeffrey Simmons jerseys. But then you look at it unemotionally, and you look at what the Jets did, and it's like, hey, wow. That'd be fun. I want 3 first-round picks. And where can I get 3 first-round picks? And all of a sudden, you talk yourself into something that no one really wanted that aggressively leading up to the NFL trade deadline.
And what's fascinating is I realized both of these guys are 2019 NFL draft.
That's correct.
Quinnen is 28 and 300 some odd days, 319 days. Jeffrey's already 28 years old. As far as career-wise, Jeffrey Simmons got 36 sacks. Quentin Williams got 40. Jeffrey's got 4+ this year, 4.5. Quentin's got 1 this year.
Yeah, Jeff has been the better player this season, for sure. But Sauce Gardner proved to us that you're not always dealt based on your current value, which we'll get to in a few minutes.
But I do wonder, I guess if we'll have this conversation in a little bit, how close to the compensation was it offered to Jeff? I mean, to the Titans for Jeff, though, too. Because he went to the Cowboys, and that was an early conversation about who had interest in Jeffrey Simmons, too.
I do think that there is also different motivation of Quentin Williams wanting a trade and wanting to be moved himself. I don't think Jeffrey Simmons has done that. I don't think he has gone that direction with the Titans. The question also is, Ramon, are the Titans in the same place as the New York Jets? Are the Titans at the same point in their rebuild as the New York Jets? Because I don't think they are.
Yeah.
The Titans already have their quarterback. I think finally the New York Jets are looking at the 2026 NFL draft and thinking, if we've got to go get our guy, we need ammo. Need ammo. If you are stuck the way the Jets and Browns were last year behind Cam Ward, how do you make an offer that a team can't refuse to go get the guy, to go get next year's version of Cam Ward, which at this point looks like it's either going to be Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson? If you got the third pick and the first two teams hypothetically are QB-needy teams, how do you try to package things to either go get a veteran quarterback with the draft capital that you have or make an offer to one of the top two teams in this hypothetical situation that they can't refuse? The Titans have their quarterback.
Right.
So the Titans are not a team. Yes, it'd be nice to have 3 first-round picks. I want to have certain sure things and good football players that I know are good. Jeffrey Simmons is that. He likes to be here. And you already have your quarterback. So there's less of a need to stockpile first-round picks to go get yours.
There's more of a desperation. And here's the other part. You bring up an interesting one. Well, we're almost up against it, but you bring up an interesting one. The 80% that voted for yes, they would have taken a Jeffrey Simmons would have also probably been minus 40% had it actually gone through, too. Facing the reality of something that doesn't affect you is totally different.
Right.
I can say, man, I would have bought that car if it was me, but you also don't have $80,000 to go get that car.
You also don't have the insurance. You don't have the upkeep. Yeah, there are other factors into a deal like that.
There are. I have my take on what I think the Jets are doing and the why they're doing it, too.
Okay.
It's fascinating to look at it, but I will say this: I would have potentially taken 1 or 2 of those deals. I will say if presented to me. That's just my personal opinion on it.
I only think there's one that you can really compare.
Yeah, I know.
Is Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons, Quentin Williams are close comparisons. But the Titans didn't have the ability to go all in on that and trade 2 premium pieces the way the Jets did. 615-737-1045, live for the 1045 The Zone Circa Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circa Sports at Kentucky Downs. I think the Indianapolis Colts are crazy, and I'll tell you why. Coming up next.
It's Ramon and Will for Window Nation, man. It's that time of the year where the weather gets a little bit cooler. We've seen some fog. You may have some on your windows from the condensation of having the hot and cold air mixed inside of your home because you got air seeping out of it. Well, Window Nation is one of the best companies out there, man. We trust them because they're A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They do a 50-point inspection on every window before it even leaves the factory. If you don't believe us, well, here's the thing. They got 96% customer satisfaction rating. Best part of all, we all are on those rating sites. Well, they got over 45,000 5-star reviews, Will.
They do, Ramon, and they also have the best deal out there to replace those windows and keep that hot air inside. Take advantage of Window Nation's end-of-year sale through November. Get 50% off all window styles. You could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. Trust the folks who have over 45,000 5-star reviews. Schedule a fast free estimate now at windownation.com. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems and hurry. Sale ends soon. Online at windownation.com. Ramona Willow 1045. The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Scooters is in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. And they have got the best stuff to start your day. Caffeine, food, good service. It's going to be quick. If you're listening to the sound of our voices and you're just getting ready for work, this is your sign to just budget like 5-10 more minutes. Swing by Scooters on your way in. You're going to be good to go. Grab a cinnamon roll, grab a flavored coffee, whatever the flavor of the day is.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
You want to hear something that's fascinating, too?
I would love to.
You ever seen the videos of horses like in their retirement and they play the starting horn sound and the heads raise up? Well, it's a thing. It's a real thing. It's now going to show up on your algorithm. It's a thing. They play the starting horn sounds for getting into the blocks and the horses are raised up, literally, because they're so used to it. Crazy Train does that for me.
Okay.
It does. You saw me over here bopping and bouncing.
Your head down, just bouncing up and down like, yeah.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
That's me. That's my starting horn sound right there, because for 11 years, more stadiums in Pittsburgh did it. Every kickoff at the beginning of the game, that like Crazy Train got me going. It was either I'm on the bench waiting for the defense to get going, or I'm standing up waiting for the kickoff return to get done. I am a trained horse at this point right now.
Or if you need a pick-me-up, you listen to Renegade.
Well, listen, that wasn't for me. It's for the defense, but I enjoyed it too. The Colts received that this weekend, and guess who we're going to talk about now? Look at me being a radio pro.
Good transition.
That was a great transition. But Crazy Train is my get ready song. I don't know why. And I don't even got it in my library right now.
The locked in department called and said Ramon was in charge this morning.
Come on, man.
615-737-1045. We'll get to David Old Hickory in just a moment. But first, Ramon.
Yeah.
The Colts are crazy. The Colts are absolutely insane. Trading 2 first-round picks for corner Sauce Gardner, who had all-pro seasons in 2022 and 2023. He has 3 career interceptions. 0.7 yards per coverage snap across those first 2 years. That's better than the 1.1 average. He has been below that average mark this season. He had 10 penalties last year and just signed a 4-year, $120 million contract with the New York Jets over the offseason. What was your initial reaction to the surprise of the day and the kind of move that doesn't really happen very much at the NFL trade deadline?
I call Colts in that window. When they were in Window Nation windows right now, when you see a move like that being made, I'm on fire right now, man, with these little drops I got right now, man. But all I said was window is open. They found their guy at quarterback. They think they got a lot going in the right direction for them. They got guys at their prime age right now. DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, Zaire Franklin. They got a lot of youth. They got a balance of what you want. And I'll give grace to what Sauce's last 2 years has been. Sauce, why am I continually calling? What's his real name? Give me a government name.
Sauce Gardner.
Ahmad Gardner, okay?
You can just call him Sauce.
I'm going to call him Sauce, though. I'm going to give grace to what Sauce Gardner's been through. The Jets have been horrendous. They've been bad as a team. Their defense hasn't been bad, which is crazy. The parts of their defense, Quinnen and his brother Quinn have been pretty solid. Robert Saleh couldn't really get them going in the right direction, from my opinion, from what I've seen. But that's neither here nor there. I lie. Robert Saleh had them as a 4th-ranked defense when it comes down to points. Mm-hmm. But I look at their situation, say rushing coverage. I think it's a little bit better than what they got going on with the Colts right now. And if you have a guy who is at least a threat, like Sauce Gardner, whatever he was dealing with as far as coverage, as far as penalties, as far as not being able to be the guy he was in his first 2 years, DeForest Buckner helps him with that. Laiatu Latu helps him with that. His offense also helps him with that. I don't think there was enough balance for him to be what he was in the first couple of years while with the Jets. Just my personal opinion.
According to Pro Football Focus, Sauce Gardner this season has allowed 10 catches, a 102.5 quarterback rating, and 17 yards per catch. He has 5 pass breakups, which is 12th most in the NFL this year. They paid for 2023 Sauce Gardner. Now, Sauce Gardner is still young enough and still talented enough to be the 2023 version of himself. But I think where you have to begin to evaluate this trade is by saying, at 25 years old, you better hope you're getting that version of Sauce Gardner, because the 2025 version that's been on the field is not worth for 2 first-round picks. It's just not. Now, if you're going to pay for a player that wasn't available in the trade market, you've got to pay a premium and convince that team to make that player available. That's what they did. Sauce Gardner was not being shopped. He was not being put out there. However, when he was made available because this deal was so good, of course the Jets have to take it. And this is kind of what we talked about with Jeffrey Simmons, too. Jeffrey Simmons wasn't available,
Right.
barring the shocking, hey, offer you can't refuse price. Because, Ramon, I don't think it's good business to ever make anyone that's not a quarterback 100% totally unavailable. If the Titans had gotten an overpay like this for Jeffrey Simmons, well, now we're having a different conversation. Yes, you take the trade. But we talked about that, right? We said that yesterday. Like, the only way you trade Jeffrey Simmons is if you get like 2 first-round picks or something, like something insane. Well, this was something insane. You make this move because you have belief in your quarterback.
Yeah, you do.
Indianapolis makes this move because they feel like they are in a window to put the chips all in and go for a Super Bowl. I think that is insane. I truly think that's insane. I don't think you've seen enough Daniel Jones this year to do this. How do you think that Minnesota would have felt? Let's run this back 1 year, knowing what we know now about how Sam Darnold finished the season and how they let him go. Minnesota doing that deal a season ago would have been terrible for them.
Doing a deal for Sam Darnold?
For Sauce Gardner. And having, or let's just say, getting rid of 2 first-round picks to try to take advantage of a Sam Darnold window. And then at the end of the season, Sam Darnold was so bad that they decided, nah, we're good. Not worth the money. We'll go get our young guy back in here. Because the Colts are kind of in the same position with Anthony Richardson. I know it's not a one-to-one comparison, but you have to have very confident belief that Daniel Jones is your guy that can take this team to a Super Bowl and that this was the missing piece. I just don't think the Colts are that team, and I don't think Sauce Gardner is that player.
I agree with you. Sam Darnold ran out of gas for Minnesota last year. He did. He looked like, hey, the cart had went back to the pumpkin by the end of the season. I'll agree with you on that one, but you still had the opportunities to go and get it with a guy like him. You understood what your offense was capable of, and I do look at the scenarios right now between the Colts and Minnesota as 2 totally different scenarios. Want to know why? They still had J.J. McCarthy, who was unproven, hadn't even really played any at all. With what Coach Steichen is seeing with Daniel Jones, he's already evaluated, to me, Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson has no shot whatsoever. There's still the hope of a first-round draft pick in Minnesota, and he's proven that to be right-ish. You're removing yourself right now 100% from what Anthony Richardson ever could do for the Colts moving forward. And if you feel like as a coach, and Shane Steichen got a smile on his face as big as, man, the Kool-Aid man right now, okay? He is gleaming from ear to ear with what he's found in Danny Dimes right now. And he sees that future in him. He's got a young enough crop of players around him. He's got an offensive line to support him. He's got the offensive MVP of the year right now at running back and Jonathan Taylor, who's benefiting from that also. This, to me, is 2 totally different situations. I think it's an easier risk right now to bet on Danny Dimes being the guy for them for the future. If you eliminate all the biggest issue every team is trying to find in the quarterback, I'm okay with saying, man, bleep them draft picks. That's what the Rams did when they got Matthew Stafford in the same sentiment. They went out and got Jalen Ramsey, bam. They went and got a rusher, bam. They did everything that you possibly could have done. This, to me, is more it shows more of a resemblance to what the Rams did than almost anybody else at this point. They don't have like a Aaron Donald type. DeForest Buckner fits that mold of an impact defensive player. They got a defensive lineman. They got starting linebackers, and now they went out and got what they think they could return back to a world-class shutdown cornerback. I'm taking that risk because that's what this thing is anyway. And respectfully to everybody else in there, you're playing in the AFC South. I think you lock them up for years. And not only are you playing in the AFC South when it comes down to the Colts, you look at what the Texans did this past year as far as them going to get 2 wide receivers, right? Albeit they're not top of the top of the draft wide receivers, but they're battling that too. You also look at Travis Hunter for what that's worth. Also, if he does primarily go to wide receiver, you got Sauce Gardner for him. You got also Brian Thomas Jr. that you also have to cover too. So I think it's covering yourself in the division to continue to knock at the door to win the AFC South. But also you're defending against what other teams are doing in this division too by trying to keep yourself above board.
So let's start with your Jalen Ramsey comparison. I don't like that comparison because I think Jalen Ramsey is a much better corner when he got traded.
Just a different version.
He had 10 career interceptions at the time he was traded to the LA Rams.
How old was
Sauce
he
Gardner
then?
has 3.
How old?
25.
He was 25? I mean, Jalen's a different dude though too. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Jalen's a different dude. I think this version of Sauce Gardner, it's a very interesting case. And again, I'm consistent on this. I don't like giving grades on trades or drafts until we've seen how the player plays in a new system and a new place.
I roll with you there.
But Jalen Ramsey was a much more proven and consistent player at that point of his career than what Sauce Gardner has been the last 2 seasons. Sauce Gardner was a little bit above average corner last year. For the New York Jets. Now, some of that was without Robert Saleh. But again, like, what if Robert Saleh was a part of a big reason why Sauce Gardner was so good? We don't know the answer to that. I mean, Lou Anarumo's no slouch, don't get me wrong, but this is too big of a risk to take with Daniel Jones as your quarterback.
To be fair and to add context, though, too, those 2017 and 2018 teams, no, they were trash, too. Never mind. I can't even add any context to that.
The Rams?
No, the Jags. I'm looking at Jalen Ramsey, how he got to this point.
They were not good.
Defensively, they were where? 4th in the league, only giving up 19 points a game.
And they had one run where Blake Bortles played out of his mind.
That was 17.
Got into the AFC Championship game, and then he turned back into a pumpkin. What's to stop Daniel Jones from turning back into a pumpkin?
I mean, that's the risk you're running while believing it. Now, here's the other part, though, too. There are components in it in which he don't have to play a huge part in it, and that is Jonathan Taylor.
That's true.
That is
He's got to stay healthy.
JT, that's true, too.
And that's an if for everyone. So I'm not making that a specifically Colts thing. I just think that there are certain things Daniel Jones is doing. His quarterback rating against pressure, the fact that he's like 15% completion percentage better against pressure, where that being a big weakness of his in New York. And all of a sudden, he's just throwing dimes with guys in his face. I don't know. I just see some warning signs that he is not the quarterback worth giving up 2 first-round picks to invest in. Because now let's just play the hypothetical game and go down the road and say he ends the season poorly and they've got to solve quarterback again. Good luck. Good luck.
Okay.
Because you don't have 2 first-round picks now to go get your quarterback. You're going to be hunting in the bargain bin for a premium. Like, you have sold your soul to Daniel Jones.
I'm with him.
By making this trade.
Toss it up
Daniel
into the sky.
Jones is the franchise quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts.
Yep. I 100, I'm okay with that one because here's the other part of it too. You mentioned the investment. I don't think there has to be a huge investment into Daniel Jones to keep him in Indianapolis Colts. I think he's more worried about his career and his reputation with Shane Steichen more than anything else. I feel like when you look at what this bet is, and all of this is a bet. This bet is security and stability more than anything they would have ever had with Anthony Richardson. Right now, you're in a division where if you don't have a quarterback in the AFC, you ain't got nothing. There's more firepower.
That's true.
I said, who am I? There's more firepower on the AFC side of quarterback than there ever is. And when you can marry a offensive coordinator, head coach with their guy that they believe in, I feel like they're always going to get over the hump in these type of situations right here. I'm just betting on the fact that the Colts right now, with who they've already drafted, and that's the biggest part of it all to me, too, is they have drafted right. They rebuilt that offensive line.
Yep.
They got skilled players in Josh Downs and Michael Pittman Jr.
This is the risk you get to take when you draft as well as the Colts have drafted.
This is what is showing more than anything.
I just think they overpaid within that risk. My issue is not them taking a risk. It's that they took too big of one. Zach, our resident Colts fan, put in the F&M Bank chat saying, the difference is that draft picks aren't certain and this is. No, it's not. Why is this certain?
Because of the marriage.
No, I'm saying, like, I can't be certain Sauce Gardner is going to be the first team all-pro guy that he was his first 2 seasons. That's not certain.
That's not certain.
Nothing is ever certain in this league. Like, guys could have one injury and never be the same. Guys can be scheme dependent and go into a new system and never look the same. Like, yeah, it's more of a certainty than draft picks are because the guy is already who he is. But at the end of the day, I don't think this is a player worth 2 first-round picks.
I do.
That's the biggest issue.
I absolutely love this.
Why is that?
Colts, because when you mix, again, rush and coverage together and the stability of Lou Anarumo, that's the other side of it, too. Like, the last couple of years, their season went to crap. And, I'll say in 24, when was Aaron Rodgers with them? 24. 23, Achilles pop, bam. Last year, it was a crap show also with what they had going on. The instability of that they had as an organization was bad. I think right now the Colts, with their owner on the sideline, is shown to be one of the most stable franchises over the duration in the last 20 years than almost anybody at this point, with how they have reset themselves, how they have drafted, and how they've gotten back. You got 2 good coaches on this team, Lou Anarumo and Shane Steichen and Jim Bob Cooter, go Vols, that you believe can push these guys to the forefront. I'm looking at the makeup of that defense, the coordinator that's employing those guys to go do their jobs, and the cast of characters that they have, too, and saying to myself, Sauce has no choice but to be good. We're talking about a Colts team right now, Will, that is still a top 10 defense as far as giving up points, and that's without the threat of having him.
Right.
Sometimes you as a team is paying for the threat. I don't think Joe Hayden, when we got him in about 2016, 17, was the Joe Hayden that the Cleveland Browns experienced the first 8 years of his career, 6 years of his career.
Right.
But the threat of having Joe over there meant a whole lot more to the threat of what teams are going to be able to present you with. I'm looking at it in that sense, and this is my player side, too. You do the more facts than I do, and I enjoy the way we do this.
Statistically, he was an NFL average NFL corner last year.
But he was on a statistically terrible team in the last couple of years.
It's nature versus nurture in real time on a football field.
But I always say this too: bad teams make good players bad. Also,
sometimes.
I think that's one of the reasons why Jeffrey Simmons haven't gotten that AP All-Pro first team
I
yet.
could care less about the accolades.
But it matters. It does matter.
Sure. I think it's fair points. I see where you're coming from. I just think 2 first-round picks is insane.
Understood.
I think it's totally insane for a team quarterbacked by Daniel Jones. Dave at Old Hickory up next. Hey, Dave.
Good morning, fellas.
Morning.
Hey, very good, very interesting conversation this morning. Hey, I just wanted to go back into the last section when Will spoke about the Titans in this draft pick, leading up to what we just finished with the Colts. I agree with you that the maintenance of Jeffrey Simmons, I feel that was good. The reason I feel that was good is because the Titans don't have anything else, and they don't have the capability to go and get anything else. You said that if you draft continuously in the NFL, the way it's structured now, you will get better. And you said that's just a given. Well, you followed that up. Ramon followed that right up with how bad the Jets have been for so many years. I just don't see what we have seen in this organization that will lead us to believe that they will get better. No, given I don't care how many draft picks, because they have not shown a history of being able to develop talent. When talent does miraculously appear, they trade it away. There's a narrative of bad ownership surrounding several teams, the most prominent one being Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. But when you go and look at the spreadsheet, you look at the business side of the Cowboys, he bought this team for $150 million in 1989. It's worth $13 billion today. It's the most profitable sports franchise in the entire world. So we can't say that he's a bad owner because he's making money hand over fist. At the end of the day,
it's true.
This is sports entertainment. And the Titans, there's nothing entertaining about them. It's hard work. It's a labor of love for those who are Titans fans, and it's a labor for everybody else. It's just hard work to watch the Titans. The Colts right now are interesting. What they're doing with this move with Sauce Gardner makes them. Look at their media today. Everybody's excited.
Hey,
Everybody's alive about it.
Thank you, Dave. We got to move on. I'm sorry because we're up against a break
we are way over.
Need to keep it moving. But
yeah.
The point is not just to be entertaining, right? You can respect what Jerry Jones has built from a business point of view,
entertainment means
The goal is to win and being
I think both,
entertaining.
Those got to work hand in hand.
They're 3-5-1.
You can be a clown
Dallas.
show.
I don't know. I don't think being aggressive is always a good thing. Just for the sake of being entertaining is the point.
Oh, no, you be aggressive because you have the ability to think you're winning.
Right. We'll get to Greg on the phones when we come back. 615-737-1045, plus the other big move the Jets made yesterday. Coming up, we'll talk about what it means or what it meant for the Titans on NFL trade deadline day. Coming up.
We're really lucky to have Genesis Diamonds here, man. In a sea of corporate jewelers, Genesis is such a refreshing alternative, and they always stay ahead of the pack. With bigger selections, new and trending styles, more pricing flexibility, stronger warranties, higher quality standards, and as we head into the holiday season, Genesis is fully stocked. Case after case of dazzling jewelry, rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, colored gemstone jewelry, luxury pre-owned Rolex watches, all at a guaranteed best value, all at no commission salespeople also. That's no pressure ever at Genesis. And if you're thinking about that holiday engagement, now is the time to get into Genesis and let the experts help you create the ring of her dreams. They've got all the top ring designers. They've got diamonds in every shape, every size, natural and lab grown. Genesis is a breath of fresh air. They're locally owned but internationally connected. They have the buying power to guarantee the best value while never sacrificing on good old-fashioned customer care. You will never be treated like a number at Genesis. Genesis Diamonds, my jeweler. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Hey, it's Will Bowling for my friends at Brentwood Hearing Center. You are coming up on the holiday season, at a time of year where you're all in crowded rooms talking with family members that unfortunately might not hear as well as they used to. While they're in town, stop by Brentwood Hearing Center. If you feel like you are missing out on conversation, if you feel like you or a family member, you're just always asking people to repeat themselves, well, Brentwood Hearing Center has the latest hearing device technology that can help you hear where there's crowded situations. Whether you've been at a sporting event, you're at that noisy restaurant, you're hearing the table behind you and not the person in front of you, head online, BrentwoodHearingCenter.com, schedule an appointment with one of their doctors of audiology and find out what sounds you've been missing. You can give them a call, 615-377-0420. With the very best technology on the market, Brentwood Hearing Center is going to get you off the sidelines and back in the game. Online at BrentwoodHearingCenter.com. That's Brentwood Hearing Center, better hearing, better life. Wrapping up the first hour of the show, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, 104.5 The Zone, 615-737-1045. At the checkpoint we are at the Titans season, relative to our preseason expectations, to what we knew the Titans were going to be in 2025, what's been surprising in a good way or disappointing in obviously a bad way? That's coming up in a half hour here in hour 2. Your phone call, 615-737-1045, where Greg in Smyrna wants to weigh in on the Sauce Gardner trade. What's up, Greg?
Hey, I'm an old fart. I'm 54. I've been watching football, of course, all my life. I grew up, my parents were Dallas Cowboy fans, so I watched all the Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, all that stuff growing up. Being a Colts fan most of my life, when I got into high school, I saw how they built, and they still have the same philosophy. They build in the trenches. They build great offensive and defensive lines. So they've done that. They've got great skill players. As much as Chris Ballard has taken a lot of flack, they go out and they get a DeForest Buckner. They go out and they get a few free agents to plug in some holes, and they have consistently showed their winning program. And, you know, when they go out and they make these risks, whether they did for, you know, even back in Peyton's day when they were winning all those games, they still had to go out and they had to get, you know, a few players, and they spent the money. They spent the draft picks. The Colts are showing again that they're doing that. Your window is so freaking small in football that you've got to take the risk, no matter what. If it's a couple of first-round draft picks, guess what? You built those up. You've had them. You know how to build the franchise. They've done it. They've traded away first-round draft picks consistently over the years, and when they traded the first-round draft pick back in the day, they got Michael Pittman and they got Jonathan Taylor, two of the best players at their positions. You know, so all that being said, they're smart in how they do business. They're smart in how they draft. And so they've got a winning system that they know how to work. I think they're going to do just fine without two first-round draft picks because they've done it before, back-to-back years of trading first-round draft picks for second and 2 seconds or whatever. So I think you have to execute when you're close to a Super Bowl. They've got, from an outside perspective, they've got a lot of pieces in place where if you feel like you're close, just do it. Why not? So many players. The Rams did it a few years ago. All these teams that are close to Super Bowls, they end up going to the Super Bowls. They have to trade to get great players.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate the call. The difference is, to your point, you had Peyton Manning. You had Andrew Luck. The reason why you've been so successful.
Out of Luck, though, did they?
It
was hopeful.
They got a good bit out of him. I think the point is, I don't disagree. They have drafted well. They've also gotten quarterback right. That's the biggest reason why you've been successful. Not because you've made all these other trades. You've had generationally good quarterback play twice.
Hey, all I know is Big Colts is coming out of the woodworks right now, man.
Big Colts.
Big Colts is they letting it be known in Nashville. You're gonna see a lot of horseshoes around here, man.
Well,
Big Colts is feeling it.
Allegiance to Peyton Manning in this state. They are, many of them are still here.
I'm laughing. But I will say, now, you know how I felt about Daniel Jones. Like, Daniel Jones, to me, is doing what I think, doing just what he should be doing.
Yeah, and to be fair to your point, you are right. Like, you don't have to be won over by Daniel Jones because you were already won over.
So, now, the other part, though, too, I looked up Sam Darnold's contract. Sam Darnold got $3,400.
A deal I would have done. You know, I was also on that trade.
Absolutely, you were.
Right.
But what I'm saying is you still got an opportunity to balance out your roster if Daniel Jones takes $3,400. I think because of the scenarios are so one-to-one.
Right.
I'm
not worried about the money.
Yeah. I'm just looking at like where they are as a squad. I don't think Sam Darnold's got much to. Not Sam Darnold. Daniel Jones got much to argue about because more than it's his legacy that's intact right now. Right now.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot more at stake. Obviously.
Well, yeah.
They have gone all in around him.
Patrick is still around. He like Omar in The Wire.
Josh Allen's still around. Lamar Jackson is around again.
All you're doing is putting yourself now in the blocks to come out of it with them.
100%.
Yes.
100%. Ethan is up next. What's up, Ethan?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Morning.
Everybody's doing well.
We're good.
Well, this is kind of directed to you, man. I'm going to see if I can change your opinion on the Sauce.
Okay.
the Colts. So think back to pre-COVID Titans. I've been a Titans fan my entire life. We had Tannehill, Henry, and the boys.
Yep.
We were rolling. Got to that AFC Championship game, and we were I feel like, truly just one or two pieces away from being a Super Bowl team. Right? We got close. So if you were the Titans, would you have made a trade like that for 2 first-round picks to get a premier cornerback, potentially premier cornerback? Because you look at the Titans draft the year after that, after Tannehill and all the stuff that's bad now going on that's happened, we didn't really do much. So those 2 first-round picks really wouldn't mean a lot, but that could have potentially got us to the Super Bowl and maybe even won it. Don't know if that'll change your opinion, but in my opinion, I'm on Ramon's side with this. I like the trade the Colts did because that window is small, and I'm going to get your opinion.
Thank you, Ethan. I appreciate the call.
He been in our text messages, ain't he?
Yeah, we were just texting about this with our friend Austin Stanley Vadesi. I would have done it around Tom Brady.
You weren't afforded to then. Well, no. That was it was Tannehill versus
Brady.
When did that Tannehill versus Brady? Was
After
that 19?
the Titans went to the AFC Championship game, there was a fork in the road. Do you extend Ryan Tannehill? Do you build off of a half season of results? Or do you go get Tom Brady and reunite him with his good buddy Mike Vrabel? I, at the time, and anyone who knows me, and I was just starting my career in this town, talking into these microphones. We did not know each other yet. I was on the Tom Brady train then. And if your quarterback was Tom Brady, then yeah, go ahead and make this move. Because the second you bring in Tom Brady, your expectation would have been Super Bowl or bust. But with Ryan Tannehill, it was, let's see if we can. And I would not have done this deal with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. I would not have. Going back to that, Ethan, I'll be consistent on it.
But the thing that's the same answer he had in the group chat too, Ethan.
Yeah, right.
He was on the
Thank you for the call.
chat. But what I would say is this though too. Even with 19 Tannehill and moving forward, that run lasted from 19 to 22 or 19 to 21, 3 years.
You were the 1 seed in 21.
Yeah. So with that also being said about taking that first, so is what I would have said to a first round corner or somebody else. Don't even finish the sentence with me, because here's the thing: we're talking about these windows. Those windows, even the one when Tom Brady went to Tampa was a 3 year. Looking at what
but you got a Super Bowl out of it.
And that's the point though too.
Yeah.
Is you got a 3 year crease of saying, this is it. I think the Colts situation is the exact same thing.
I don't, because I don't think Daniel Jones or Ryan Tannehill is Tom Brady.
But all I'm saying is you got 3 hard years to get in. Even the Rams, I feel like 3 hard years to get in.
If you have the quarterback.
If you got the quarterback.
And I've not seen enough yet to believe in investing that level of draft capital into that quarterback. That's all it is for me.
That's fine. But like, you have to at least shoot your shot. And I think that's essentially what this is. And like, that's what free agency is.
I don't disagree with that either.
I'm shooting my shot.
Sure. No, I think it's fair. I just think it's a reckless way to shoot your shot also. Into a guy that's not been as good as he was at the beginning of his career in 2 seasons. We're going to see. I mean, I'm fascinated by it.
I am too. I think everybody is.
I admire the boldness. I will say that.
Yeah.
Because, and here's the positive I will give Indy, not be a total hater. Because if it doesn't work, you've at least failed spectacularly enough to kickstart another rebuild. And you've gotten your answer. Like, the worst thing you can be in the NFL is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So I at least respect them for going 2 feet in to competing. Because if it doesn't work, you're going to very quickly be 2 feet out. We're going to see. 615-737-1045. The Titans did not want to trade Jeffrey Simmons. The Jets had to trade Quinnen Williams. These are comparable returns. Let's say the Titans maybe could have made that trade. Should they have? The same deal the New York Jets just got back for a similar player. We'll talk about it next.
7:03, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The NFL trade deadline has come and gone, and the Titans didn't make another move outside of trading Draymond Jones just a couple days ago. General Manager Mike Borgonzi is scheduled to meet with the media this morning at 10 a.m. A lot of trades across the NFL, highlighted by the Jets making two big trades, trading two-time All-Pro cornerback Sauce Gardner to the Indianapolis Colts for wide receiver A.D. Mitchell and a first-round pick both in 2026 and 2027. The Jets also traded All-Pro defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys for defensive lineman Maisie Smith, a 2026 second-round pick, and a 2027 first-round pick. And the New Orleans Saints traded wide receiver Rashid Shaheed to the Seattle Seahawks for fourth and fifth-round picks in 2026. In other NFL news, Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon announced yesterday that backup quarterback Jacoby Brissett will start this Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks, as Kyler Murray, his return remains unclear. And the first college football playoff rankings were unveiled last night. Ohio State is the number one ranked team in the country, and then it's Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, BYU, Texas Tech, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas, and Oklahoma rounding out the top 12-team list. Vanderbilt falls just outside at number 16, and Tennessee comes in at the bottom at number 25. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Seven a.m., hour number 2, getting started on your Wednesday morning, Ramon and Will. We are fueled by Scooter's Coffee, as always, who is locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. The Dallas Cowboys are putting their chips forward on the table. Maybe not all in like the Indianapolis Colts, but the New York Jets are definitely all out. Trading Quinnen Williams for a 2026 second-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, and defensive tackle Maisie Smith. Ramon, you made the comparison earlier. There are a lot of similarities between Quinnen Williams and Jeffrey Simmons, both 2019 draft pick defensive tackles who get after the quarterback at a productive rate, who eat up space, who stop the run. Should the Titans have made that exact trade with the Dallas Cowboys if it was offered to them?
I say yeah. I say yes. I'm all aboard that one, but I'm unemotional to it though too. I think I'll remove myself from saying like, yes, I gotta see Jeffrey Simmons out there. Yes, Jeffrey Simmons is a Tennessee Titan. I look at this situation and say the New York Jets are forcing their fans to peel back their eyelids and watch this rebuild by giving that trade up, by giving that pick up. They're done with what they have been. I was looking at just the New York Jets as a franchise. The last time they have been relevant was 10 years ago in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
They were second in the AFC East at that point. They've been fourth, 3 straight years, third. They've been third or fourth since 2016 and beyond. They've had how many head coaches? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 head coaches, 5 if you're including Albright as an interim, also in that time span. Their record has been atrocious. They've had instability. They've attempted every single thing that you can as a franchise to try to get yourself just jolted up and go. They went out oversold for Aaron Rodgers. They gave him, if it was $50 million a year, that didn't work for them.
Mm-hmm.
They've drafted and had good talent. And Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner. They've had everything that Garrett Wilson, and nothing has worked. It seems to me with whatever Aaron Glenn is as a head coach, they like that. They've seen him be a part of a staff with the Detroit Lions that somewhat built them back up to seem like it's sustainable. I don't know what Aaron Glenn's conversations is with Woody Johnson, their owner, but I do look at this situation and say, well, this is it for them. The relevant world that they left in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying right now, y'all gonna watch us do it the long way and just accept it at this point. And I respect it. So you're asking me if I'm on the Titans end of that one or the Dallas Cowboys end of that one or no, the Titans end of that one of trading him, Jeffrey Simmons, away. Here's the issue. The Titans hadn't been that bad for this long, though. That's the other part. The Titans' last relevant season was 22, second in the AFC South.
Yep.
You ain't been bad long enough.
You were relevant half of 23.
Yeah.
And that's when the 7-game losing streak started.
If that makes sense to you.
Sure.
Like the Jets is a decade plus of bad.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought of it from that context.
Like think about what the Jets, they've done everything possible.
I think you probably would take that trade. Also, it wasn't offered to you from anything we know. We have no
speculation.
Reporting. Yeah, maybe. But like, I don't think there's any. Like, Quinnen Williams was asking to get out.
What's the difference between Quinnen did actually get out?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There was a lot of buzz around that of him wanting to no longer be there. I mean, I'll try to find the specifics of it.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think that the Jets rebuild and the Titans rebuild are in different phases. Mm-hmm. I know it feels different because the Jets just hired their coach. The Titans haven't yet, in Aaron Glenn. I think the more important part is, though, that the Titans are a year ahead of the Jets rebuild because the Titans drafted Cam Ward with the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft. Mm-hmm. The Jets are stockpiling picks in order to get their guy and not have the luck of the draw of where they have to pick dictate who their next quarterback is. That's the thing. I think the Titans could have gone one of two ways here, and I think they will probably go the second way. The Titans could have gone ahead and traded Jeffrey Simmons, given themselves multiple swings, stayed put in the NFL draft in 2026 with their first-round pick, taken the most elite player they had to take, and then use whatever else, future first-round picks or future second-round pick to stockpile additional talent. I think there's more than one way to skin a cat here, Ramon. I also think that you can move back from wherever you are in the 2026 NFL draft and stockpile a similar type of return to what the Jets just got for Quinnen Williams and still have Jeffrey Simmons. I think that's the vision for the Titans, that you're thinking, hey, let's get the sure thing still here that we know wants to be here from what we believe in Jeffrey Simmons. Mm-hmm. And then let's just go ahead and move our first round pick and get all these picks, but then still get Jeff. I think that's the thing that Titans fans have to wrap their head around at this point is like, there will still be more time to make trades and to maneuver and to acquire additional draft capital in the offseason. If this was if the NFL draft was like this week, like, all right, maybe we're having a different discussion. If you're sitting there without additional picks, there is still time to get that kind of return. I just think it's a little bit of apples to oranges. And I don't know that this deal was ever even made available to the Titans to take.
It's just, I felt like Jeremy Fowler came out earlier in this before this window closed as far as the trade deadline, and mentioned Dallas being a part of that conversation. I look at this and say, if
100%.
Quinnen went, I think they are a 1-to-1 match when it comes down to what Jeffrey Simmons has been in Quinnen too.
40 sacks.
36.
Since 2019, Jeffrey Simmons has 36, and Quinnen Williams leads all defensive linemen with a 9.5% run stop percentage this season.
Yeah, I think both of them are paired up. Pro Bowls about the same. Quinnen got the All-Pro, first team All-Pro. Jeff got 2 second teams All-Pro. Like they're a 1-to-1 comparison, literally. So I would almost expect they called and possibly offered this up. Let me just say that one. I think they did. They offered this up. But the Titans? Yes. I would say, why not at this point? Both teams in very similar situations, 2 types of guys that are exactly the same when you look at them. I would have taken this one if presented to me. Now, again, it comes down to how bad you feel you are and how quickly you think you can build this thing up. I think the Jets' plan is going to be one that lasts until 27, 28 with how they've gone about stocking these draft picks up. I just don't know how quickly the Titans are trying to build this up, especially when you look at where they're drafting and where most of their picks are right now.
I think I would have taken it too. Now, that's not to say it's the only way, again, to my point about how to rebuild. It's not the only way to rebuild. You don't have to trade a valuable asset. But the Titans will have to move things around and move assets around in order to acquire additional draft compensation to rebuild this roster with, again, like we said yesterday, controllable contracts and young drafted players by this organization. We'll see.
I have a question, though, too. Maybe we'll get calls on this, and it's for us, but I'll ask you this one, and I'll answer it, too. Why hold on to Jeff?
He is the most elite player that you have on a roster that doesn't have a lot of sure things. That's why you hold on to Jeffrey Simmons.
Okay.
Jeffrey Simmons is the foundation of what your defense is built around. Crash the pocket, interior pressure. Again, that might change
but that's
with a new
too.
scheme, with a new coach. But, I mean, to your point, to your question, why hold on to Jeff? He is the foundation that you're building everything around on the defensive side of the football. And if you get rid of him, I don't know who this team's best player is after him. There's no one that is a veteran presence, leader in the locker room, who performs on the field close to the level that Jeffrey Simmons does. Now, yeah, if I was offered a 1 and a 2, I think I would have traded him. But that's the rationale for keeping him around, is he is the elite player that is a sure thing. More so, I mean, in the same way we're just talking about Sauce Gardner saying he's a sure thing or closer to a sure thing than draft picks. Same thing could be said about Jeffrey Simmons. He is more of a sure thing, and there's no guarantee that you are going to be able to replace his level of production over the next 5 seasons, which is a rookie contract if it works out in the first round. I can't guarantee that you're going to get a more productive player over the next 5 seasons than what Jeffrey Simmons can give you over the next 5 seasons.
I just look at it as just such a heavy bet to be played on a guy that's 28 years old. In 5 years, that makes Jeffrey Simmons, 32?
Either way, you're making a bet, though, or you're betting on a 21-year-old that's never played NFL football that might not be at that position and might never be as good.
But I look at this one also and say, I don't think this is just part of the full rebuild that you said you were going to do. Not that you had to pour Jeffrey Simmons out with the bathwater.
I get it.
But I view holding on to him and saying that I am rebuilding, I feel like I'm 1 foot in and 1 foot out, though, too, because if I'm fully rebuilding and I believe in Borgonzi and Brinker, I'm believing in Borgonzi and Brinker to go grab those draft picks and say, this is our team moving forward. And give yourself almost more time.
Then you trade back in the first round. Again, there are more ways to be all in on rebuilding aside from just giving up your most foundational piece.
So trading back in the first round also means that you suck for a higher draft pick right now, too, without actually saying it and doing it, too?
No.
You don't. But that's a heavy bet to be made on hoping somebody wants your position in the draft, though, when I could have already gotten 2 first-round draft picks for one player. If the Quentin Williams.
We don't know that, though. That's the thing.
We got to correlate it, though, too, considering the conversation from Fowler was out there, and Quentin Williams got that from the Jets.
Jeremy Fowler. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, again, we have no way of knowing this deal was offered to the Titans. Would I have taken it? Yes. Is it the only way to be all in on a rebuild? In my opinion, no. I think there are other ways to go all in on this.
I agree with that.
Because I don't think the Titans are in the same boat as the Jets. The Jets don't have their quarterback. They need all the draft picks they can get to go get theirs. The Titans have theirs. They're a year ahead of where the Jets are.
We believe in Cam.
Yeah.
You hesitated.
No, I'm saying that I couldn't decide if I was going to answer yes or you have to, because both are true.
Okay. Yeah.
You have to believe in Cam.
Okay.
Everything now. That's the other thing. They're not being half in, half out on Cam Ward.
They got to go get a quarterback, the Jets.
Yeah. The Jets are going to go look for a quarterback they can believe in and try to develop in the same way the Titans are going to surround Cam Ward with weapons this offseason. 615-737-1045. Your thoughts on the Quentin Williams trade as well. Plus, at this checkpoint of the Titans season, we take stock of the Titans' successes and failures relative to our expectations so far. Going back to the preseason, what did we expect? Where have the Titans been what we thought they'd be? Where have they not been what we thought they would be? Coming up next.
For many of us, it's happening. Your hair is thinning, your crown's disappearing. Maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I've got good news. It's an incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts growing your own natural hair the very next day. And it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's the Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with the monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have. But what if you want your own natural hair permanently in specific areas? From advanced hair, state-of-the-art facilities to the world-class doctors, it's not maybe your hair will regrow. It's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's why Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I recommend them to everyone. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 629-348-HAIR. That's 629-348-HAIR. Or visit their website at advancedhair.com. Again, the website is advancedhair.com.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. Is your home's heating system ready for the cold weather of winter? Well, available 24/7. Lee Company is here to help. The turn of the season is here. Guys, waking up in the mornings as early as we do to come in and do this show. I can see the temperature of what it was like overnight. I've seen a lot of 3s in front of the temperature, a lot of 4s in front of the temperature. Pretty soon, it's going to be even cooler overnight. You need to make sure you got hot air, warm air, whatever you want in your home. Lee Company's professional team of technicians, they are performing heating tune-ups and seasonal maintenance to keep your home running efficiently this fall and winter. Contact Lee Company's award-winning team online at leecompany.com to keep your home cozy for the cold months ahead. And if you got company coming over during the holiday season, you got to go ahead and make sure that your heating system is ready. That's leecompany.com for all of your heating needs. Lee Company, all you need.
My dad and I used to golf together all the time, but when he hurt his back, it was over.
To have your son want to spend time with you is amazing. That's why my chronic back pain has been so heartbreaking. Surgery, fused bones, long recovery. No way, not for me. A friend recommended stem cells, so I gave Kellum Stem Cell Institute a call.
I'm glad you're out on the course.
Yeah, it's really good.
Call the Kellum Stem Cell Institute today. Swing still looks just okay though.
So the bye week in the middle of the season gives you a chance to reflect at a checkpoint. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, 104.5 The Zone, and on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. It's the kind of moment that allows you to save the video game, turn off the console. When you open it back up, you know where you are. You get to start there again. So, Ramon, but as we hit the bye week, and the Titans go into a Wednesday where usually we would be previewing the next opponent or looking at keys to competence, right? Let's go back to our... Yeah.
Keys to competence?
Do you not want competence?
All right, I do. I know. I thought it was keys to success.
We don't want keys to the car. We want keys to competence.
I just thought your vision had changed a little bit. Keys to victory? No, keys to competence.
Well, to that point,
all right.
We had expectations for this team. I probably said it 20 times in the offseason at least. November can be a month of ascension, of growth, of looking like a team headed in the right direction.
Gotcha.
Well, would you look at the time? It's November. Based off of the preseason expectations, Ramon, let's start with the negatives. Where is this team not as good as you thought it would be?
Offensive line.
Pretty easy. First answer.
Yep. That one, game planning.
Let's start on the offensive line. Let's stay there for a minute.
All right.
We definitely did not expect Cam Ward to be the most sacked quarterback in the NFL by the time the Titans hit the bye week.
No.
What has not worked for this offensive line that has put Cam Ward at the top of that list that you do not want to be at the top of?
The support of a run game so that he could grow and don't have to go win football games by himself. I think that falls on OL up front. The expectations that I think anybody that followed this team from free agency to the draft picks that they also had, the second-year jump you expected J.C. Latham to have, Peters answered the call. You also have a front office who also went and paid Dan Moore a good bit of money, and I like Dan.
Mm-hmm.
But watching that also unfold in front of our faces and Kevin Zeitler, like it was almost like the Price is Right situation. Like, come on down, next one. Like, yes, this all matches up until you realize you spelled the word wrong. It was there, not there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the way it kind of feels almost watching this team. Now, to that point, I don't know, there's, failures this year or shortcomings. Is it because of the play calling? Or is it because the group as a whole isn't as good as we thought they were?
Right.
Maybe JC needs another year of growth. I'm huge on the third-year growth of offensive linemen. Is it that Cush needs one more year recovery from the Achilles? Like, is Kevin Zeitler miscast because he's 14, 15 years into the league right now with a bunch of young guys on a losing team? I think starting there first is probably the worst part of this team when it comes down to the expectations. We looked at them in training camp and who we thought Coach Bill Callahan was as a teacher.
Right.
That's like jumping off the Empire State Building what this team has done, what that group has done so far.
Sure, and part of the reason why the Dan Moore addition made sense at left tackle was because he was able to be taught by Bill Callahan to go from being a solid veteran left tackle to a $100 million left tackle, which is what he is. I think, too, part of Cam Ward's processing speed and willingness to hold the ball too long is a part of it.
Yep.
Which I think leads us to another thing that's been disappointing this year that's not met expectations. Quarterback.
Yep.
I don't think Cam Ward has met the expectations we put on him in preseason. Again, we gave the caveats that November was going to be a month to take a step back, for rookies to take bigger roles within this team, for Cam Ward to start feeling confident and start playing better football. Start the arrow pointing up this time of year. It's unfair to completely judge Cam for his rookie season until the rookie season is over. That book has not been closed yet. But Ramon, I'd be lying if I said that I expected this at the bye week in terms of the Titans passing game. Cam Ward showed us processing speed. He showed us decisiveness. He showed us that he had a chance to really look like a mature professional quarterback right away and not like a rookie running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that has not translated to the football field the way we have seen it on the practice field. It's not a reason to give up. It's not a reason to push the panic button, in my opinion. Maybe you have a different one, but in my opinion, I just think it means exactly that. So far, Cam Ward has not met the expectations we put on him before the season. I'm not putting any other implications on that. I'm just stating that as a fact. We hoped and expected for Caleb Williams' rookie season production from Cam Ward, and I don't think that was asking too much. He is the most sacked quarterback in the league. He has the 4th highest time to throw number on average in the league, meaning his processing speed has not caught up to NFL defenses. He gets plenty more time to do that, but so far it hasn't been what I expected.
Right.
That's okay.
It has not. And also, too, when you go back to how much was thrown at Cam, he's got the C on his shirt, too.
Yep, he's a captain.
Maybe not. That's normal in other organizations, though,
I think
too.
so.
It is normal for the quarterback? Okay, I didn't know if C.J. Stroud got that.
You tell me.
We didn't give out C's like that.
You had one quarterback for your NFL career.
And so that's the reason having that conversation is a little different.
Sure.
But I will also say this, too. This is why I think, and I heard, this is just hearsay, why a good bit of the team didn't like him doing bringing the crowd up around him as if he was the unsung hero of this team whenever they had a bad day in training camp and stuff. Like, it's those types of things, like rookies should be seen and not heard. And there is a level of supporting him, which I don't think he's had this year.
Correct.
I do think it was too much too soon for him.
Yeah.
And the expectations.
I won't push back at any of that.
But is that fair when you're the number 1 overall quarterback?
That's the point.
That's the point. But you still, to your point about that, like the expectations for him, you got to rock him in your arms a little bit. You got to guide him. And I don't think he's had much guidance.
I agree. I agree with all of those things.
The point we saw a different version of this in training camp.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That is the point I am making.
That's bad.
Is that, yes, there are a lot of things outside of Cam Ward's control that have been net negatives this season. They changed his play caller in week 3. His head coach was gone in week 6. His number 1 target, whom he was developing a great rapport with in the preseason, hurt his hamstring in week 6. All of these things could be true, and Cam's got to play better. Because I think that's also a part of it. 2 comments we get in the F and Bang chat. One of them says, Will, we got no running game. Dude's not getting open and running the wrong routes, dropping balls, and coaching looks like crap. Yeah, there are elements of all of that is true. But also, what about 3rd and 16 on Sunday when Van Jefferson's wide open and Cam doesn't step into the throw and hit him between the numbers? Van Jefferson was college football open, not NFL open. You got to hit the layups when they are there. Unfortunately, I don't think Cam has made enough layups.
I agree.
I think he's made too many mistakes relative to all the things. And again, that's why I wanted to have this conversation relative to the expectation. Because Cam Ward statistically has not been good. There's no debating that. But also, how good did we expect him to be? This football team has not been good in 2025. But we didn't expect this to just click right away, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the point, is that, yes, a lot of things have changed around Cam. I also think that Cam has controllables that he can take care of better in terms of mechanics, in terms of accuracy, in terms of getting the ball out on time. I'm not trying to grill the guy. I believe in Cam Ward. If I was doing the draft over again, I would still take Cam Ward number 1 overall. I'm not making a huge conclusion here to say that Cam's the wrong guy and all that. I'm not trying to grill him and roast him. But I think if Cam was sitting in this room, Ramon, he would tell you he's got to play better. And it's really okay to say that.
It is.
It's really okay to criticize Cam Ward.
People have to stop being so defensive of him. Somebody put in our chat, and I replied back to him, but why were they in 3rd and 16? Why did he throw the ball in the dirt on 3rd and 16?
Right. Like, quarterbacks have to make throws when guys are open.
Your kids are bad when they leave the house. Okay?
I feel like fans are either all out on Cam and think he's a bust, or they're afraid to criticize him. We got to live somewhere in the middle. Cam Ward cannot be this golden child that has never done any wrong, but he's also not a bust yet.
No.
It's got to be right smack dab in the middle of that, Ramon.
Yeah. I'm laughing because it's okay to say it's bad sometimes. All right. And that's called growth. That's called self-evaluation. It's called being real about it. Like, what? That was one of the craziest questions ever. Why were they in 3rd and 16? Because they had a penalty, had a holding call. But why could he not have completed the 3rd and 16 pass when he was butt naked open in the middle of the field?
And I know that's one play, but again, we're using that as an example of
reality.
And the fact that we could go down the list, those plays are happening regularly.
They are. And that's okay to say.
It's okay to criticize him.
Step back and be cool.
Yeah, right. He is showing a lot of potential.
He is.
Relative to what our expectations were this season, he has not met that yet. Now, the beauty of that, and the way we'll put it on the positive, is he's got plenty of time to turn that into a different conversation. He's going to play the rest of the season. I think it would be insane to sit him on the bench.
He ain't got no choice but to go.
No, yeah, he's playing.
He ain't got no choice.
He's got plenty of time to fix it. Let's go to the other side, Ramon. Where is this team better? Where have they pleasantly surprised you? You're already grimacing. That's not a good sign. Where has this team pleasantly surprised you through the bye week so far?
I got 2 spots. 3. I had 3 spots.
Hit me. Go.
Peter Skoronski.
Number 1.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Number 2.
You flipped that one.
Okay.
And field goal kicking. Distance.
You said field goal kicking.
I'm serious. I'm not even laughing. I didn't know what
it's
that
a
was
third of the
look
game.
like. Yeah.
Special teams have been better.
Oh, no. Chimray.
There you go.
There we go.
I think
Chimray.
I think relative to what expectations were,
Yep.
I was waiting for you to say Chimray.
Okay, that's on me.
I think no, you're good. You got there. I think that the rookie class has exceeded my expectations as a whole this quickly. And I think your 3 day 3 pass catchers, Gunnar Helm, Chimray Deke, and Alekai Manor, give you legitimate optimism and hope for what's to come. I really do. I think the proof of concept, Ramon, is there to say that Mike Bergonzi and Chad Brinker got this draft class right. Brian in the F&M Big Chat says Cedric Gray has exceeded expectations 100%.
What? Yes.
I think Cedric Gray and Chimray Dike are the best 2 success stories the Titans have this season in terms of individual players.
I agree.
No doubt about it.
Yep.
To give you perspective on Alekai Manor and Chimray Dike, and we're going to talk with Rhett Bryan at 9 and kind of take a stock report of the AFC South. Take a look at where other teams are at this point, kind of a checkpoint of the season as well, at the halfway point. Remember when we were talking about the 2 day 2 wide receiver picks the Houston Texans made?
Yeah.
Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins.
Yes, sir.
The 2 Iowa State wide receivers who were 2nd and 3rd round picks. Those 2 players, Ramon, have combined for 2 less yards than Alekai Manor has by himself.
Oh, straight up.
Alekai Manor has 323 yards receiving this season. Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins have combined for 321. I think we need to really appreciate what the Titans found on day 3 of the NFL draft. Those 2 receivers that you've got are going to play football here, a lot of it, for, we hope, a long time, but definitely in the immediate future. I think you found a legitimate target in both of them. You have a weapon in special teams at DK who can change the game, and you have got a guy who I know has struggled with drops a little bit these past couple of games. But overall, with where you drafted Alekai Manor, he has been everything you could have hoped for and more. 100%. And that's, again, where we've got to remember what the expectations were. When we talk about Chikakonkwo, as he kind of has a sunset maybe on his time with the Titans, and at least on his rookie contract, relative to where he was drafted, Chikakonkwo has been good for the Tennessee Titans. He's been a good football player. As a day 3 draft pick, he's been a good football player for the Tennessee Titans. You have found more guys that are not just good for where they were drafted, but I think are just good football players.
Yeah.
That's where I think this team is better than what I thought they would be at this point. When we come back, we'll go to the phones. All of your thoughts. We've given you ours, where this team is not as good or maybe better than where we thought they would be at the bye week. You can share your thoughts as well. Or on Cam Ward as well, on the conversation we had there, because that always gets people going. 615-737-1045. Adam, Luke, Mike, and Andy, hang on with us if you got time. We will get to you coming up next.
Smashville hockey. Around here, it can sound like a language of its own. But hey, if you can pronounce Demonbreun, then names like Yossi, Shea, and Marchessault will roll right off the tongue. Nashville Predators, only in Smashville.
Wrapping up hour number 2 of Ramon and Will. We got playoff rankings last night. Vanderbilt, very much in the mix. We'll talk about it with Chris Lee coming up at 8:20. Rip Bryan in the building at 9 a.m., as always, on a Wednesday morning. 615-737, where we get your thoughts. Shall we go to the phones, Ramon Foster?
Let's do it.
Let's go to the phones. Adam in the Borough wants to talk about the Quinnen Williams trade. What's up, Adam?
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Morning.
Hey, I was just, the comment was made of how we're a year ahead of the Jets because we've got Cam. They're a year ahead of us because they have a coach.
Yeah, it's fair. I made that point, too.
I think the fact that, it was intriguing for the Jets coach because he had Quinnen Williams, because he had Sauce Gardner, and now they were able to have those conversations to say, hey, we just want to break it all down. What do you think about it? Personally, I would have liked to have seen us trade Simmons, get that draft capital, and then turn around and trade back with the Simmons capital and trade back with our original capital and have 25 draft picks next year. That's just me.
Fair enough.
Appreciate the show, guys.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate the call.
Adam out here fishing with dynamite right now.
That's one way to do it.
It is.
One way to do it, for sure. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's not a one-to-one comparison on the Titans and Jets rebuilds. I just think the Jets are getting as many draft picks as they can to go get their quarterback.
Yeah, they are.
Because you just watched Cleveland, New York, to a lesser extent the Giants, even though they still got their quarterback. It looks pretty dang good in Jackson Dart. But you just watch a bunch of teams have to sit there with their, sitting on their hands to take a quarterback because there weren't any worth where they were picking other than Cam Ward. And so you have ammo to go get another guy versus being forced to sit on your hands in the first round of the draft if you've got 3 first-round picks to work with.
You cooking with gas at that point.
Luke is in Hendersonville up next. What's up, Luke?
Hey, just to clarify while I was on hold, Quinnen Williams, they gave one first-round pick for him, right? Or was there more?
One first-round pick in 2027 and a second-round pick in 2026.
Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty good trade. I mean, the thing I look at it, though, the way I look at it is this team already lacks so much leadership that you can't really replace that with a draft pick. We need draft picks, but I'm fine with them just keeping, Cam and Jeff. I wish they could have gotten something for Tony and Ridley.
Sure.
But we do need more picks, but I think Jeff's leadership and his drive and the way he can rally the guys and even hold guys accountable in practice when we already have such glaring leadership deficits, even from the coaching staff, I think it is a smart move to keep him as long as he does want to be here and we pay him. But all right, thanks, guys. See you.
Thank you, Luke. Appreciate the call.
Hang on, take away from the callers real quick. But what if Jeff if it's bad next year and Jeff comes out and publicly says it at that point?
Says what?
I want out. Is it revisionist history to be like, all right, we should have taken the deal last year?
Well, but you can still take a similar deal, right?
All of this is ifs and buts,
Sure. Yeah, obviously the challenge with that is that you are not relying on the desperation of teams at the trade deadline who might overpay or be more willing to give you a first-round pick for Jeffrey Simmons. But I do think that's the thing. The door has not totally closed on making this move as we head forward into draft season.
I was going to say the next window is pre-draft and free agency.
Yeah, but post-Super Bowl, free agency, pre-draft.
Yeah, yep.
Right.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, maybe you could make that move. Now, you're probably not going to get as much. But again, there's a lot that we don't know. How healthy is Jeff? How does he finish this season? Who else has injuries? Who else needs a defensive tackle? Who else is close but not totally there? It's hard to have that conversation without knowing. But yes, you will have that opportunity to also still make that trade. 100%. Mike in Cleveland up next. Good morning, Mike.
Morning, Mike.
Morning, my peoples. Yo, with the big Jeff thing, I really wasn't worried about the trade deadline because Jeff hasn't said anything, but that is what I'm worried about the end of the season. He plays real good, and then he comes on out and says he's willing to be traded. You feel me? But the other thing I wanted to say real quick, this isn't what I was calling about, but yeah, man, start criticizing this looking to be offended all the time, fan base? Why y'all always so quick to try to be offended? Like, yo, let these people just, like, spit the truth as far as, like, what's going on with the field, Joe. Cam, you can love Cam and also say he did not do a good job. Your child you can love your child to death and he can still screw up at school when you still got to spank him. You dig? Like, chill out with that. Our fan base be too soft a lot of times. But, so what I'm calling about is when y'all was talking about the offensive line with Bill Callahan and Brian. Now, Zach Lyons brought this up on Cover 2 yesterday, but it's something I have been thinking about, and maybe, Moan, you can answer the question for me better than, articulate it better than what I'm going to say. But it seemed like, I'm just wondering, was there some kind of disconnect as far as what Bill Callahan was trying to build and what Brian needed to run the offense or the scheme that he was trying to run? And that's really like the thing that has been getting me about this whole organization all season, the disconnects between front office to coaching staff to even on the field that we have seen. That's what's been like really just like, unexpected. It just seems like it's still no cohesiveness on what the game plan is, how we're going to proceed for the future, and who's going to be in those roles for the future. So with the offensive line, it just seemed like nothing ever lined up as far as what we had and what they was trying to do on the field. You did what I mean?
No doubt. Absolutely. Get that.
Thank you, Mike.
Had a similar conversation. I'm trying to get that answer, Mike. That's the one I told you, like, I'm searching for that one. Does the philosophy of the offense match the scheme of what coach wanted to call?
Match how the offensive line was being taught to play.
Yes. Right. Yes, absolutely. No doubt. I'm efforting that answer as close as quick as I possibly can. I'll try to get that to you. I promise it to you. I'm going to get it to you before the end of this week, though. Seriously. Okay. When we're speaking about this group and the reset that they need.
Sure.
But that does matter, though, too. I've seen offensive coordinators and coaches, offensive line coaches go at it because Munchak, and I know everybody has a soft spot for him in their heart, but he stood on the table for us about this does not work for my group. This is dumb. He ain't said in those words like this, but he'd be like, fellas, listen, they call it this way, we're going to do it this way. And now the coach we had before him, he bent the knee to the offensive coordinator and honestly kind of screwed us over a little bit with how we were blocking stuff versus what the plays were being called. So that does matter. I personally have gone through that.
Let's get Andy in Clarksville in here to wrap up hour 2. Hey, Andy.
Hey, so last time I was on the phone waiting to talk with you guys, I got rear-ended and my car was totaled. So if this crash,
sorry to hear that.
In a better place now. So
good.
That being said,
Hope you got that Corvette.
I'm not Tehran, so I don't have the Corvette.
Okay.
So I'm in a Honda Civic. So anyways, I think fans need to remember Scam's a rookie. And I think we were thinking, we're going to have Jaden Daniels because that happened last year. The parts of line for the Commanders last year to have just a phenomenal year, I think he's still making some rookie mistakes. But if you look at last week's game, that drive that unfortunately ended without them getting in the end zone was a great drive by the offense. It was probably the first time that they were able to drive it down, look good the whole way, until, in my opinion, play calling more than execution didn't get us in the end zone. And so we have a team where the defense looked great, 6 sacks without Jeff, and the special teams looked great. The offense had some good moments, but we're still I think you're exactly right. November will tell the tale. If we can get a win out of this, maybe 2, I would be ecstatic. But, hey, he's a rookie. Next year is going to be the year. I hope. That's the word that people need to remember. Hope.
Thank you for the call, Andy. Appreciate it. Sorry to hear about your car. That's all.
Yeah, Andy, I hope Honda is rolling you around town right now. I think that's like 30 miles per gallon, so you did come up.
All fair points. No doubt. Coming up, winners and losers from the NFL trade deadline. Who had the best deal? Who took the biggest W in the NFL at the trade deadline next?
I feel like Soulja Boy.
One of the largest sports books east of the Mississippi, Circa Sports Kentucky, is now open. Catch all your favorite games on an 80-foot screen with stadium-style seating and live VSiN broadcast
Yo, that's
daily.
what you'll be
Circa
saying.
Sports, now open at the Mint Gaming Hall, Kentucky Downs.
You go to Synergex and Low T Center. You'll also be feeling like Soldier Boy, as I had a hot mic moment right there, man. But I'm here to tell y'all, they are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. What makes them the MVPs? Well, to start, they use pharmaceutical-grade testosterone to increase your testosterone to a level that is just right for you. Did you know that other clinics, man, they compound testosterone so you don't even know what you're getting or how effective it will be. Synergex and Logi Center are the real experts that you can trust for quality care. Also, they're one of the only providers that accept major insurances. Other clinics and online services charge you sky-high prices for testing, labs, and memberships, and it just goes on and on and on. For Synergex and Logi Center, they make it affordable and easy for you to start and stay on those treatments, man. It's not just for men also. It's for the ladies as well, man. Women, you also have some of the same symptoms of men with low T: tiredness, low energy, mood swings, low libido. So women, go in and get tested also. Treatments include testosterone injections if you need it, or hormone pellets for women as well. At Synergex and Low T Center, they have a long history of helping women find a hormonal balance that brings back the balance to your life. Simply put, get into a clinic, man. Go back and get yourself checked out. I always tell you all the time, you can lift all you want to. You can run, do all the things you need, but you need to check out the inside of you also. Book your appointment now at trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com. Make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
8:03, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The NFL trade deadline has come and gone. The Titans did not make another move outside of Draymond and Jones Monday night. General Manager Mike Borgonzi, though, is scheduled to meet with the media coming up today at 10 a.m. In other NFL news, Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon announced yesterday that backup quarterback Jacoby Brissett will start this Sunday and moving forward as long as Kyler Murray and his return remains unclear. The Cardinals play the Seahawks this Sunday. All-pro defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, who was traded from the Jets to the Cowboys in a blockbuster trade yesterday, is expected to make his debut for Dallas after their bye week this week as they play the Las Vegas Raiders in Vegas on Monday Night Football in Week 11. The first college football playoff rankings were unveiled last night. Ohio State is the number one ranked team in the country, and then it's Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, BYU, Texas Tech, Oregon, Notre Dame, Virginia, and Memphis rounding out the 12-team playoff list. Vanderbilt falls just outside at number 16, and Tennessee comes in at the bottom at number 25. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to come visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone. Oh, my God.
Second half of the show, hour number 3, getting started on this Wednesday morning. Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Cinnamon rolls, breakfast sandwiches, protein smoothies, coffee. Scooter's Coffee has it all. The one thing they guarantee is fast service. It's going to be easy. It's going to be affordable. It's going to be quick. And you are going to be caffeinated and or well fed. Go by and see him. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. He is the 11-year NFL veteran, Ramon Foster.
like
Justin
Soulja Boy.
Hawkins makes the show happen. What's that?
What was that? I feel like Soulja Boy.
You. On Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bull. Listen, you tell people at the end of every show that their mic is always hot. You did follow your own advice, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. It was just a couple seconds too late.
You didn't say anything bad.
I didn't.
You just said you feel like Soulja Boy.
I feel like Soulja Boy.
And then I alerted you your mic was still on.
And I went, yo. I feel like Soulja Boy.
Yeah, it's fine.
Never have I ever imagined I'd say I feel like Soulja Boy.
Well,
why do you feel like Soulja Boy?
Inside stuff.
Oh.
I have to tell you later.
Dang.
I'll tell you later. Because I was cranking that. That's why. Yo.
Coming up, we'll crank up Vanderbilt talk with Chris Lee, who joins us in 15 minutes.
Can't wait.
Vanderbilt got a shot at the college football playoff. I want to know how they finish the season, finish the job to get to the CFP. I also want to know if, according to Chris, Clark Lee's got any interest in Penn State or any interest in Baton Rouge or what his feelings are around that situation. So we'll get Chris's take on it. Chris, the best of the best covering Vanderbilt football.
Man, I like Chris. Chris got
Does
lot
a
of
terrific
insight.
job.
He's a solid dude, man.
Absolutely right. Ramon, who was the biggest winner of NFL trade deadline day?
Biggest winner, man. It depends on how you look at it. Is it the media? Or is it right now? I got two. I'm gonna pick the one outside the box.
Which one matters more to you?
Which one matters right now the most? I probably think Seattle's trade.
Okay.
Yeah. What's Rashid Shaheed. Him going up there and being an assistant to a very budding, a very hot, close to boiling Jackson Smith and Jigba to be a threat to open up for him. Right now, that guy's radioactive, man. Anything coming his direction is there. His ability to catch plays is huge, and you got a guy that's got speed. That's at least that you will at least have to watch as it comes down to him taking the top off the defense for Sam Darnold. And with what that team has done so far, I think I like what Sauce Gardner is. I'm with you. Sauce has got to be proven what he can do with that defense. I like that window and what they've done. I probably have that as one, but I think as far as immediate impact for a guy that needs just a little bit of help, Rashid Shaheed, how you say it?
Yeah, you got it right.
Rashid Shaheed.
You're good.
to me, is a quick jolt in the offense to what Seattle has right now.
Boy, from the other perspective of that trade, it just feels like the Saints are so stuck.
Oh, my gosh.
And I know that we've got similar feelings about the way things are going here, and those two teams are going to play, and maybe the winner of that is going to be on the other side of the number one overall pick. But trading Rashid Shaheed, that is kind of a tongue twister.
That's what I'm saying.
To the Seahawks for 4th and 5th round picks. They get a solid return, but man, that you just felt like they needed more. They are, again, unlike the Titans, waiting to get their quarterback.
They are. I just looked at that one as far as Sam Darnold's concerned. And like I said,
I think
every
it's a fair point.
Batman needs a Robin. And I think he goes up there and at least become a distraction for him cooking. Because right now, Jackson Smith and Jigga was about to get doubled. Okay? It depends on what Shaheed can do for him. But I just look at that and just like, that's a good move right there. Like a small one, not much risk to it.
Seattle's living my dream.
What's that?
Cooking with Sam Darnold. It's my guy.
That's your guy right there.
That's my guy.
Yes, it is, and it has been.
Also, how about the Saints? They did also trade Trevor Penning. This is so disrespectful. I think the biggest loser might be Trevor Penning because he got traded for a 2028 conditional 7th round pick.
Brother.
Guys, just cut him. That's I'd rather just be cut. That's so disrespectful. A 2028 conditional 7th round. There are guys that are going to be drafted in 2028 who we've never even heard of. They're dudes in high school right now. Let's think about that. So next year, obviously 26, 27, 28.
A freshman.
Could there be high school seniors? So if a guy's freshman in 26, sophomore in 27. Okay, no.
No.
You have to have current freshman. No, you're right. You were right the first time. High school seniors cannot be drafted in 2028.
The high school juniors
you'd have to be
right
a freshman in 26, a sophomore in 27, and a junior in 28.
I mean, think about it. You, like, right now.
Yeah, for current freshman. Like George McIntyre is going to be on NFL draft boards in 2020.
Ethan Utley right now is going to be drafted at the same time that pick's going to be rated for right now. Like, that's what we are. We're talking about Ty Redmond right now is going into the same draft class as that pick is at this point.
Like, Daniel, we'd rather have a freshman than we'd have Trevor Penning. That's so disrespectful.
I ain't even look at it like that, man.
So disrespectful.
I need a first rounder, too. Trevor Penning. Oh,
Trevor Penning, I believe it was, right? He was Northern Iowa?
Yeah. Got tricked.
Yep. 19th overall pick in 2022 out of Northern Iowa.
Look at his face. He looked like
even Isaiah Wilson got you a pick swap.
His brother stinks.
That's tough.
No, that's just sad. Well, he started 6 games this year.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He's been the last 2 years. He's been their day one starter. No, he's only started 6 games this year. He ain't been day one this year, unless it's injuries.
Oof. I think the Jets are the biggest winner. Jets got paid to go find the quarterback. They turned a guy in Sauce Gardner, who has not been the same guy over the last 2 seasons, into 2 first-round picks. Yeah, I think it's the Jets. I think it's the Jets, 100%. Again, you've got to go all in or be all out on rebuilding. You've got to go all in or all out on being a Super Bowl window team. And to the conversation we had earlier about the Colts, I think they're crazy for believing so much in Daniel Jones, but I respect their boldness in just going 2 feet in to being all in, because that's better than just playing around.
Old strategy, Cotton.
Yeah, it is a very bold strategy.
I respect what the Jets are doing, though, because again, they've reached a point of just being fed up. Hawk, you got my homie man up in the New York, New Jersey area in the post game interview that he had, man.
Do what? The Jets fan.
The Jets fan. Do you have?
Let's
him
go live
up?
to Jets fans on how they feel after the Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner trades. Yeah, thank you.
Did you see the new one I put in our chat?
Do you have it ready? Yeah, let's play it. I was watching it in the break. It doesn't translate great over the radio. You gotta have to see. So this dad gets home, and kids get home from school, and he tells them, this kid's apparently a big Sauce Gardner fan, and tells them, hey, the Jets traded Sauce. I'm sorry, buddy. And this was the reaction. Do we have it ready? Let me know. We got it. Okay, this was the reaction.
And it's okay.
There's 2 kids here.
The Jets traded Sauce today.
where? To where?
No, it's okay.
No, it ain't.
It's like a bird.
Rivalry jersey.
It's okay. I'll get you a different one. He went to Indianapolis, and they also traded. They also traded Quinn Williams.
He just stormed away.
He did, but so did Sauce.
I don't like the Jets.
No, Quincy's still there. No, it's fine. Quinn Williams on the Cowboys.
trying to talk himself into it.
The Colts. It's okay.
I like the Colts now.
Guess what? We got 3 first-round picks for it.
I was born.
Everybody, everywhere.
Buddy said, I like the Colts now.
This is the same thing. Those are young kids. Them kids, I was born into this. I hate this team. God, can you imagine?
And the Jets made the smarter move.
Them kids going to be 18 before they see this return.
Yeah, honestly. They will be eligible for the NFL draft by the time the New York Jets have fixed it.
It was a screeching cry that got me.
Oh, my God. He sounded like a door opening.
It sounded like a elk deer that just got killed or something, man.
No, I don't like the Jets.
I don't like the Jets.
Are they doing it right?
Who's to say? Whom's to say? I guess we'll find out. Coming up, Chris Lee talks Vanderbilt football with us after this. Moving in Middle Tennessee is a challenge. It is stressful, and just because everyone wants to move here makes it even tougher, right? This market is crazy. If you're looking to move, looking to relocate, if you have to relocate, you need Bernie Gallerani Real Estate. Hey, it's Will Bowling. My good friend Bernie Gallerani guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. Yeah, there's no risk to you. Bernie's going to let you out of the contract at any time. He is the real estate agent who has the 30-day guarantee to sell your home, and if not, he'll buy it from you. I bet all of us right now can think about that one house in our neighborhood that has had the for sale sign in front of it for seemingly forever. Just no matter what, you see people going in and out, the open houses, it just can't get sold. Well, Bernie is going to make sure that does not happen to you. If you got to relocate quickly, if you have been wanting to get into that dream neighborhood, call my good friend Bernie Gallerani, 615-428-2644, or head online to BernieGallerani.com. That's Bernie Gallerani Real Estate. Call him at 615-428-2644. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee with 11-year NFL veteran Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined this morning by our good friend Chris Lee of Vandy 247, Southeastern 16, breaking down some Vanderbilt football, the highest-ranked team in Tennessee. In the college football playoff rankings last night, the team with the best shot of making it. Chris, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Chris.
We're good. And look, the interim coach bump, something that exists, right, at any level of football. What stands out about the matchup this weekend as Vandy takes on Auburn, Chris? Where is the concern level on if Auburn can make this thing interesting, or how confident do you feel in Vanderbilt just imposing their will against an inferior opponent this weekend?
This is a weird one, guys, and I think if you're Vanderbilt, it's a little scary. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm going to lose. I'll probably pick them to win. But look, Auburn is one of, I think, 3 teams in the country that hasn't given up 24 points or more. And I mean, in so many of those games, if the offense is just a little bit competent, I mean, just a little bit, they win those games. And you look at who they've got. You know, Jackson Arnold was a 5-star quarterback out of high school. Clearly was overrated. But, I mean, Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton, my goodness, if those guys hit the portal today, every team in the country would want them. There's a path there, and you saw what Texas did last week. Texas just got quick-hitting plays. They got the ball to guys in space, and they just ate Vanderbilt alive with that game plan. Well, you know, if Auburn can do that and get the ball to those guys in space, then – you know, then Auburn could come in and score enough points to beat Vanderbilt the way its defense is. Now, there's also the if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas aspect to it, because that's not at all what's happened with Auburn. They scored 3 points against Kentucky last week, which had given up, 56 to Tennessee the week before. And, you know, the main thing with the quarterbacks is neither of those guys have shown the ability to get the ball out of their hands quickly. So I don't know if they can make adjustments in times to come up with something, or they're just stuck with what they're stuck at. I mean, it's just a huge case of the parts coming together to where the sum is a lot less than the individual parts. And that, to me, is what makes this game fascinating because, man, Auburn's defense has been rock solid consistent.
Chris Lee, Vandy 247, our guest. So, Chris, at this point, it felt like Vandy, at the very least, was going to need to win one of the 2 games against UT, right? They lose the one against Texas. Yeah. They still obviously have the one against Tennessee the Saturday after Thanksgiving. If you're looking just from the broad perspective on going into this final month and going into November, one area that Vanderbilt has got to be better in order to make the college football playoff, what would that be?
It's going to be tackling in space. I think there's multiple. In fact, Clark Lee and that staff has done a phenomenal job this year, hiding some things that I think are kind of showing up to being weaknesses. Tackling has been one of them. I think the offensive line play the last couple games has not been good. Now, look, they're facing elite NFL-type talent with the Missouri and Texas up front. And good teams, great teams can make good teams look more than a little mortal at times, and that's part of what's going on. But, hey, look, you're facing Auburn this week. That's a world-class defense. You know, it's going to be a thing you have to solve again. Maybe Kentucky and Tennessee not so much, although Kentucky flashes defensively at times. But I think it's really those 2 things. The offensive line play has got to be better than it's been. The mistakes that they make, it seems like they get 3 or 4 penalties every week. That's got to cut off. And then the tackling on the defense has to get better.
Oh, that was joined by Chris Lee this morning talking Vandy football. Chris, our producer Justin, man, played a song Power by Kanye, and it says, no one man should have all that power. I just want you to let the people know that it's not all Diego and the power that he has this year. The supporting cast that Vanderbilt has built around him, I think gets overshadowed by his aura. I guess that's what the kids say, the aura farming that he is. But how much better has this team's cast of players gotten in 2025 for Vanderbilt?
I think that's a great observation. I said it before the season. People talked about, can Diego Pavia get better? I said, hey, look, I don't know if that's the operative question. The question is, if his surrounding cast is as much better this year than it was last year in terms of what I thought you would see coming into the season, then he's going to be better just by those guys being better. So you've seen that play out. The line had been great until a couple of games ago. The defense struggled last week to tackle, but, the week before against Missouri held a Missouri offense with some talent to 10 points. So, I think to me that's the thing. But you're also starting to see some cracks. We talked about the line. The receivers haven't been quite as good. Trey Richardson, a guy who was big for them earlier, has kind of disappeared in the last month, not been as big a factor. So they are better, but you're also seeing maybe those aren't elite groups. Not that I would have ever said that. Now, I might have for the line, but there's a little bit of thing where they're improved, but the surrounding cast has got to up its play a little bit if they're going to get to the playoff between now and the finish line.
When you look at going into that game into Texas, and this is a moment where you have a bounce back, and they bounce back well with the Alabama loss by beating LSU also on the West End, and they're presented with the same situation right now with Auburn. What changes did they make, a realization that they have going into it to where they need to have that playing this Auburn team this upcoming weekend?
I guess it remains to be seen. Again, I'm sure that the tackling is going to be an issue. I think they've got to find things that work against Auburn's defense. They've been so good at motion and things like that at times. That's a thing that maybe they didn't dial into as much the last couple of weeks. Maybe that comes out and flashes again and helps them. I don't know. There's a reason they're coaches and I'm not. They know those things. It's a great staff. But, clearly some things have not worked at times for them that are going to have to get fixed going forward.
Chris Lee of Vandy 247, our guest this morning on Ramon and Will. Chris, you know as well as anybody that this time of year, journalists, media, sports talk radio hosts love ranking jobs, ranking open positions. We've done it, and we'll probably continue to as more jobs become open. But to coaches, different jobs have different values, like Clark Lee coaching in his hometown and at his alma mater and building Vanderbilt, which means more maybe to him than, I don't know, Penn State or LSU or some of these other places would. What is your feeling on Clark Lee's comfort in Nashville, Vanderbilt's ability to keep him around, and also their resources to pay up to keep him around at this point?
Let's hit both sides of it. I think Clark wants to stay here. Clark would be crazy not to leverage this. And look, he's had some sniff arounds from some bigger programs. Tim Corbin was the master of doing this. At Vanderbilt, things usually don't get done until Vanderbilt's feet are held to the fire. And so if you're Clark, you're going to leverage that for everything you need, facilities-wise, NIL, you name it. I think that is what's going on. And Jimmy Sexton, his agent, that's the right guy to do it. Vanderbilt also has this wild capacity to where, they didn't spend anything on anything for 40 years when it came to football, but they've got billionaires with the B who can write big checks in a nanosecond. Frisk, Ingrams, those guys have been walled off a lot of times from being able to do things because of the school. We went through all that 5 years ago. You guys know that story. But with the new chancellor, Daniel Diermeyer, a lot of those walls have been broken down. Now, I'm not going to say it's 100% black and white. I think Vanderbilt's always a complicated place. But, and I've even heard stories about boosters that weren't even on the Vanderbilt's radar that are worth fortunes that kind of come out of the woodwork lately to want to support the program. So you kind of have this sleeping giant out there in terms of the finances where Vanderbilt can probably underwrite anything Vanderbilt wants to do. It's just the want to that's always the question. Now, the job, I think you kind of have to rethink the way we think about jobs. Mm-hmm. And I think like Alabama and Georgia are always going to be good jobs, right? But you've seen how much those programs have been brought back to the pack in the last few years with NIL. Indiana may be the best team in the country. Like if I'd told you that 5 years ago, you'd have had me committed. And I probably wouldn't have argued on the way into the asylum, given a clear head to think about it. But I think right now, I kind of view jobs like this, okay? It's like a monopoly board. And if you're in the SEC, it feels like you're in that, just by being in the league, you're in that green and blue section of the board where, your boardwalk is going to be your Georgia, your Alabama. Auburn's an interesting one to debate, but I think it's at least a green property. Sure. And I don't know, maybe Vanderbilt's what would they be? What's the last one on the other edge of the board? Maybe they're a green property. They could be a green property easily if they wanted to. or maybe they're on that third quadrant of the board. I don't know. But the point is just the way the landscape in college football has gone. That job is no longer Mediterranean Avenue. It has shifted positions on the board, really not by virtue of what they've done so much as the landscape. And then Vanderbilt has the potential to add to that from all the stuff I just told you. So I think right now the gap has been closed to where the chance of them competing and not being a dead-end job, I mean, it's changed more in that regard in the last 5 years than it is 100. And I'm really fascinated to see how that plays out.
You and me both, Chris. I think you're dead on all of that. I wanted to ask, though, and I'm not trying to look beyond this year before this year is over, because Vandy has a pathway to the playoff and probably feels pretty good about their chances with that still kind of in their control. But long term, when Diego Pavia is not putting on a uniform for Vanderbilt and you have to move on in 2026 and just beyond, for the long-term health of this program, Chris, what has worked this year that is, in your mind, sustainable as now the Vanderbilt way? Like, what have they done now that you feel like they can continue building on to say, hey, look, all the success that we've had is not just reliant on a guy in Diego Pavia who, at the quarterback position, has kind of changed the culture of our program as he plays in the program?
Yeah, I think the biggest pivot was administratively the stuff of grad school. They can get guys into grad school now, I think, and take classes, but not necessarily pursue degrees. Again, that's one of those things. If you told me 5 years ago that was going to happen, I would have said you're nuts. But you look at their offensive line guys. Three of their starters are new. They're graduate transfers. Again, that's been a big reason for what they've done. Chase Mitchell was a transfer last year. He's in grad school now. He starts. Diego Pavia is a graduate guy. They've made this pivot where they can plug in with old guys and do it much easier than they used to. And now that you can, Vanderbilt used to be a build, right? It was find freshmen and redshirt those guys and hope by the time they're juniors and seniors that they're ready to play. And so what you were looking at was okay, we're going to get pounded for a couple of years. Maybe in year 3 in a cycle we'll be okay, and maybe in year 4 we can win 7 or 8 games. Now that's all out the window. You recycle, you get grad students, you bring them in. You've got the ability to be competitive year to year. Now, look, I think you'd be crazy to think there won't be a drop-off next year. I think there will be, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, they could go find, I don't know, Pavia is kind of a one of one, but they could find another outstanding quarterback that's a little different and make it work. You do the same thing with your linemen, and all of a sudden maybe you're competitive again. Now, again, I think the odds are that they're as good this year or next year they are this year are low, but all of a sudden it's not impossible. And the other thing is I would keep an eye on that Jared Curtis situation.
Interesting.
Because, I was just about to ask you that, Chris. You say all this, but I'm saying to you saying there's donors with bees in their bank, and I'm thinking to myself, why aren't they using those bees to go get Jared?
Well, I think that's already happened. That's one of those things, I think, where he's in a spot where I think both sides are probably getting told what they want to hear. Just from what I picked up on. Look, I would always kind of bet on Georgia in that spot. He's been committed there for a while. They're a blue blood of a program. But, for once, too, the thing of I always said this, Ramon, Vanderbilt used to bring kids in. They would do their official visits, and they would structure those things for basketball games. They're like, we do not want to bring these guys inside the football stadium, and have them witness 30,000 Tennessee fans or Alabama fans or whoever in the stands taking it over. All of a sudden, they've started to flip that a little bit, where the environment's a lot more conducive. It's kind of fun. They got music. They got the students jacked up. Like it's kind of a fun place to watch a football game now. And the local kids always knew that, right? You knew that. Okay, you can't hide that from local prospects. That it's a crappy environment on game day. Now they've kind of flipped that a little bit. They brought a Jared Curtis in for the Missouri game. It was a great atmosphere. So that's kind of the other thing too. Is now as a local kid, you don't look down on Vanderbilt maybe the way you used to, and I think that's going to be fascinating how it plays out.
Yeah, that's the fact they got them for game day. I know that's the biggest show in college on Saturdays. I just looked at that and said, and this has been my thing, I'm not here to stand on the box for you guys, but I do ask the question, like, you got Nashville in your backyard. Like, if Jared's not being on every poster board around the city, then something's wrong with the recruiting pitch that they are having for him. And I say all this also, too, Chris, because I don't know if this will be our last time talking or if you want to come back on the last weekend of the season. But I just want to ask you, however it unfolds for Vanderbilt and Tennessee, how much at stake for this one with you guys? And also, I know what it is on the Vol side, but Chris, come and talk to us the last weekend of the season, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man, first of all, you guys have always been fair. Ramon, everybody knows you're allegiant. You've been more than fair. Look, I'm always happy to come on with you guys. You ask good questions. That one is going to be – look, they've got to get through Auburn and Kentucky first, and I don't think those are slam dunks. Like even Kentucky, right? I mean, they just went and beat Auburn.
Right.
They're still in it for Mark Stoops. They haven't laid down and quit, and Vanderbilt's got to pick up its effort, as we mentioned. But in that Tennessee game, that's going to be fascinating. Let's see what happens in Tennessee at Florida. Let's see how dialed in they are. Let's see how dialed in the crowd is on a Thanksgiving weekend. But I mean, Texas just put the blueprint out there to beat that defense. It's get the ball to guys in space, and man, between those three receivers and Josh Heupel, who I think is getting a lot of heat and shade thrown at him, but I think is unfair. I think the guy's probably an elite coach. I don't think that's unfair. He's a guy that I think can really present some problems with their schemes and their athletes that would give Vanderbilt fits, but buy in late November, if you're not playing for the playoffs anymore, can be a funny thing. So I think that's got potential to be really interesting.
Most expensive ticket this matchup is probably going to see in a while. Is the way I'm looking at it,
No
Chris.
doubt.
Yeah, I think so.
Chris Lee has been our guest at Chris Lee 70, the best of the best, covering Vanderbilt football, basketball, baseball, and athletics. Southeastern 16, a great resource as well on YouTube as well. Chris, we will absolutely talk to you that week for sure. That is going to be awesome. I'm sad we honestly, I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday. I'm sad we're only going to have 3 days to talk about it
I know.
that week. So we will absolutely do it again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Hey, guys, enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Chris Lee with us. Crushes it. I love
Golly,
Chris.
that was a great conversation.
He's the best.
That Curtis thing is fascinating.
I mean, we said it at the time. I know that Jared Curtis said all the things about, hey, I'm 100% committed. I just wanted to see.
He decommitted from Georgia earlier,
Yeah,
right?
he has gone through this before. That's right. When he was kind of slanted or maybe leaning Oregon at one point, according to the reports and the experts. But he said all the right things at that moment, saying, hey, I'm 100% committed. I just wanted to see game day. However, what did we say at the time? You get a kid on campus, and all bets are off. All bets are off. Actions speak louder than words when you go visit a school. Tennessee's going through it with Legend Bay, the 4-star receiver out of Texas. Just visited Ohio State over the weekend.
Oh, you remember the Shady Hayward kid last year?
100%. No matter what you say, if you are on campus to see a football game, things can change very quickly. Very quickly. You know that as well as anyone.
This is the crib. I'm not going to cap for them at all. Chris understands. Y'all know what my allegiance is.
Yeah.
But I'm here if it stays at that level, it makes sense.
100%.
That dude will be driving around in a damn Lambo.
You're the hometown hero.
At that point?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and just
the pitch is easy to make. To be fair, though, Georgia's pitch is also really
Georgia's
easy to make.
pitch is awesome. But
yeah, 100%.
But it all depends. Also, Vanderbilt will have to put me up on the board, Will, and show me this is what we're going to do. Yes, we're going to overpay for that guy. You want him to? Yeah, I'm going to overpay for him. You want that offensive lineman? You got a friend?
Yeah,
what
right.
about little brother them?
There's a lot of...
I need a lot, but they can give it from what Chris said.
To Chris's point, there are a lot of donors with B's before their names as billionaires. There's also a donor with a B in front of his name, Bargatze, who went on College Game Day to talk about it. So anyway, good stuff with Chris as always.
You getting your siblings in if you Jared Curtis too? Listen, my little brother got to come here. He's an idiot, but he's coming to Vanderbilt
I want
too.
cousins to be pre-accepted.
Yeah.
I got a cousin in the 10th grade. I want him into Vandy.
He can ask for that.
Yeah, I know. He can ask for whatever he wants. You're a 5-star quarterback? You can ask for whatever you want. No doubt. Coming up, let's look at the full college football playoff initial rankings. Tennessee, the only 3-loss team that's ranked at the back of it at 25. And more to come on that coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster, man. I want to tell you about my friends at Jewel Roofing and Exteriors. They are a trusted, family-owned Middle Tennessee company that's been serving from Clarksville to Murfreesboro for over 25 years. They're just good at what they do. I told you, they came out and simply just serviced my roof. I didn't need an entire rebuild of it at all. They told me this is where you have a couple of problems, and, of course, I got nervous. It's like, well, do I need a new roof? It's like, no, you're fine. You're good for at least 7-8 more years on top of your roof. I was like, whew, good. We're clear. But I'm here to tell you that is because they don't have the high pressure tactics. They don't door knock or storm chase either. They believe this. You'll either need them now or you need them 10 years from now. But they want to build up trust with you so that you know that you can count on them. And they're not just trying to sell you a new roof or just honestly take money from you. They're good. They're local. They're the best out, man. The owner, Robbie Van Norman, his company is good and as thorough as it can be. If you're looking for a roofer, this is the company that you need to use. You can call them at 615-868-9999 or visit their website at jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Will Bowling. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's rapid equity loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait. No hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low, so act now. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 615-499-5780 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey dads, want an epic night with your kids? Head to Nissan Stadium for the Nashville All-Pro Dad Experience. On November 7th from 6 to 8:30 p.m., you'll make memories with your family as you run on the field and enjoy bonding activities. Expect fun, laughs, and fatherhood tips from Tennessee Titans long snapper Morgan Cox to help you be a better dad. All for less than a trip through the drive-thru. Just $35 gets you an unforgettable time with your kids. Register today at allprodad.com/events. The Nashville All-Pro Dad Experience is brought to you by Amazon, Arby's Foundation, Coca-Cola Consolidated, Colgate Bright Smiles, Bright Futures, and Pinnacle Financial Partners.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Wrapping up our number 3. The big bad Big Ten has the top 2 teams of the country again, Ramon Foster.
Of course.
As we expected coming into the season. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Indiana. I'm joking, of course. It's not what we expected. A&M 3, Alabama 4, Georgia 5. The full bracket, if the playoffs started today, Memphis would head to Georgia, representing the state of Memphis in the first round of the college football playoff. I say that as a term of endearment. Don't get mad at me. Don't come after me. You guys also call it the state of Memphis. Don't get mad.
If you've been to Memphis, you know that it is the state of Memphis.
9th seeded Oregon would take their shoe money down to oil money in Texas Tech and Lubbock. Virginia and Ole Miss would play in the biggest discrepancy between incoming ACT scores in the history of college football. UVA and Ole Miss in the 6-11 matchup. Oh, come on. That was better than you acted.
Oh, I'm over here.
You're over here texting.
Yes, I am.
Said
man.
UVA would go to Ole Miss in the biggest discrepancy between incoming ACT scores of senior high school classes. Thank you. That's what I expected.
All right,
I was waiting for that. And Notre Dame as the 10 seed. Look, Ole Miss grads, you know. I'm not telling you anything.
No, my advisor is an Ole Miss alum, so
a lot of good people come from there.
Listen, he's good. Shout out to my guy Ben Ziman, baby. You damn good.
If Stephen Godfrey is listening, he's probably texting us in 3, 2, as the Ole Miss grad that he is.
Shout out to my guy Ben.
Notre Dame 10 seed would go to 7 seed BYU. Alabama would get the winner of Georgia, Memphis. Oregon, Texas Tech winner would get Ohio State, which is hilarious. UVA Ole Miss winner would get Texas A&M, and Notre Dame BYU winner would get Indiana.
My only question is, if we got to go 2 words, BYU ain't in Utah. What city is it in?
Provo.
Mm-hmm. Can we tailgate there?
Yeah, why not?
No, because can you have alcohol? Can you have liquor?
I mean, Knoxville is a dry campus. UT is.
But that's part of their fabric is no drinking. Like their
I love
favorite
that
drinks.
your first analysis on the college football playoff
win or
bracket
lose,
is,
we gotta
can I drink in a parking lot there?
Win or lose, we got to get trashed. Will, what are you talking about, man? Especially for a college football playoff. What are you
Slay
saying?
has fried, you have trashed.
Yes, absolutely. We got to get wasted out here, man. I need to see if some of those folks are going to end up taking a sip. It ain't just Sprites and Dr. Peppers that they into. They lying to us. I've seen the TikToks. No, I have not. I've seen the Twitters. No, I haven't. I've seen their Instagrams.
Okay.
I'm so lost on social media. I'm still trying to figure out TikTok, but that's awesome stuff on the college football playoffs. I just want to know, can you drink in Provo?
Okay.
All right, yeah.
For SEC would get 4 teams in. Texas would be the first team out of the SEC the way it currently is. And still in the mix at ESPN.com, Missouri, Oklahoma, Vanderbilt. We'll see.
I got to close it out. Speaking of Vanderbilt, man, I had a homie of mine hit me up, say, hands off the Jared Curtis kid.
Oh, yeah, right.
He's
Georgia. Like I said, Georgia still got a pretty good case to make for Jared Curtis, too.
He said, we got deep pockets, too.
That's
and
true.
Then he showed me what Jared Curtis is driving already. Jared Curtis got a...
Yeah.
He good. Never mind, Chris. He's good.
I feel like at this point, Alabama should feel great about their playoff chances. Barring something crazy happening in the Iron Bowl, which, tends to happen. Georgia still got to host Texas for a November showdown with the Longhorns. Ole Miss has a cakewalk on the way in, but again, they got to avoid Egg Bowl drama, which tends to happen. A&M has a mulligan even that they can still have. A&M's fine. So. I think out of the teams that are not in the bracket currently, Vandy's got the best shot. Texas has got to go to Athens.
Mm-hmm. Chris Lee brings up a good point, though, too. I mean, this is post Hugh Freeze. This is also a team that comes off an embarrassing loss to Kentucky.
TJ Durkin.
Yeah.
Interim head coach.
It's that side of it, too. And I saw somebody else bring it up, too, but the quarterback not from Arkansas, from Kentucky, man.
Cutter Boley.
Cutter Boley is... They got some. Now, here's the thing that Kentucky's going to have to deal with. Who's going to come grab Cutter Boley? He's from the state, so they got that in their back pocket, too.
Well, I think they're just focused on trying to beat Vandy in a couple weeks first before anybody even tries to come grab
Cutter Boley in that offense, so how they keep it close to the line of scrimmage, don't ask him to do too much, and he can run also can be problematic for anybody. Yeah, they are.
I think that neither of those games are slam dunks for Vanderbilt at home. Auburn will have a lot of people in that building. We joke, but I am serious. I legitimately believe that Auburn has the second biggest SEC fan base in the city of Nashville. That's not a joke.
Right. Right.
They all live here. I feel like I know half of them. Maybe that's my Williamson County bias showing. You can make an argument for Alabama having the second biggest fan base anyway, but Auburn's going to have a lot of people there. And obviously that doesn't win you the game. The game is played at the field, not at the stands. But on paper, again, like Auburn is not a bad football team. And maybe now one person will call the offensive plays and not three.
You told me they have two of the best wide receivers in the nation, and we don't even know who they are.
Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton are legit. Singleton was one of your boys at Georgia Tech last year, too. The Haynes King was throwing.
Yes, he was.
Eric Singleton almost beat Georgia last year.
Too soon on the Haynes King.
And I know, that's right. Yeah, tough L for them over the weekend to Dave Dorn at NC State. But again, like, Cam Coleman is a good enough player to where you could just throw it up and say, go get it.
Do your thing.
And it's not a rocket science offensive game plan.
Yeah.
But you got to have the quarterback to throw an accurate ball, sometimes between the numbers, what a crazy concept, to Cam Coleman. And that's the thing that Auburn hasn't had.
I chuckled when he said quarterback at Auburn was overrated as a 5-star. And I'm thinking to myself, there's so many of those, though. The overrating.
There are.
I mean, goodness.
Commenter on YouTube says, well, then could Auburn beat Tennessee? Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Anybody can beat anyone in the Southeastern
Arkansas
Conference.
Almost beat Tennessee.
We have said all season that we have to rewire our brains like NFL fans of the Southeastern Conference in 2025.
We got a guy over here at the country station that is a Green Bay fan that is upset. Their 2 losses this year.
Yeah.
Green Bay have been to Cleveland and to the Carolina Panthers.
That's the new era we live in the Southeastern Conference. 100%. If Tennessee can lose the way they did to Oklahoma on Saturday, they could lose to anybody.
That's
in the
what I'm
SEC.
saying. Like DP.
No one is immune.
I know you're a Vanderbilt fan, and I know what you're trying to do, but like the rewiring of what this league has turned into,
it's different now.
Is way different.
100%. And there's also not a Nick Saban coaching in the conference anymore who's totally immune to losing on a C performance for their team.
Big Nick, baby. You see the video of him and Miss Terry. She was wishing him a happy birthday, I think, also.
Oh, yeah, his birthday's on Halloween.
Yeah, so she was bringing him a birthday cake, and all the kids were around. He was in his recliner watching the Chiefs game. Miss Terry said, sit up. Nick said, yes, ma'am. If you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, she's the head of that household.
Mama speak.
I
Nick,
love it.
He rolled straight up like the Undertaker. I was like, damn, the way you cuss out kids and stuff, this is you?
I love it.
I love that. That's a beautiful relationship right there, though.
Back to NFL discussion, back to Titans, AFC South, stock reports, and much more with Rhett Bryan next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, man. Nobody wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or an electrical emergency at all. Most of the time, you don't know what it's going to cost you if it get fixed right. That's the worst part. That's something you don't have to worry about with Hiller because their guarantee is this: happy you'll be or the service is free. And they absolutely mean that. They will always fix what you need done in your house properly. When you call them, the experts will solve your problems quickly, whether it be a plumbing, heating, cooling, or an electrical emergency. Part I like the most is this: the price you told is the price you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill at all. Hiller's been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated. Their techs are very professional, experienced, and trustworthy. And I'll be honest with you, they're pretty cool too, man. Some of them have been on top of my roof installing cameras. They've done some stuff around my house, some low voltage stuff, man. They're just simply good. One of the best companies around when it comes down to doing work inside of your home. Another thing, too, when the texts are on their way, you receive a link to track them in real time so you can either scurry home or know when to be at home also whenever they're coming. Listen, to learn more about Hiller or book with them the way I do, you can visit their website at happyhiller.com.
It is 9:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. NFL trade deadline has come and gone. The Titans did not make another move outside of Draymond and Jones Monday night, but General Manager Mike Morganzi is scheduled to meet with the media coming up in just about an hour at 10 a.m. In other NFL news, Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon announced that backup quarterback Jacoby Brissett will start this Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks as Kyler Murray's return remains unclear. All-pro defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, who was traded from the Jets to the Cowboys in a blockbuster trade yesterday ahead of the trade deadline, is expected to make his debut for Dallas after their bye week this week as they play the Raiders in Vegas on Monday Night Football in Week 11. And the first college football playoff rankings were unveiled last night, and they would stand as is if it were played today, as Ohio State, the number one ranked team, and then it's Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, BYU, Texas Tech, Oregon, Notre Dame, Virginia, and Memphis rounding out the top 12 team playoff list. Vanderbilt falls just outside at number 16, and Tennessee comes in at the bottom at number 25. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 4. Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Whole crew present and accounted for. It is a bye week, but we have not said bye to working yet. Not my best, but far from my worst. Justin Hawkins is our producer. Ramon Foster, Rhett Bryan, Will Bowling. Rhett in studio with us, working this morning.
Yeah, not for a whole lot longer.
I was going to say. I wanted to start by saying thank you for being here. We appreciate you making time.
Oh, I'm glad to. Yeah, about another half a day of work out of me and toodaloo.
Out of here.
I mean, it's
deservingly so, right?
I am toast, boys. I am toast. It's been a long year, and I just, you think about, there's 3 road games left, and the back half of this season for the Titans. That just tells you how much it's been on the front end. And I'm ready to check out for a day or two. I'm thinking about I'm trying to figure out what I want to do on a grill. I want to do something different.
Man, Taylor put you on the spot on Titans Radio on Sunday.
Yeah,
saying
well,
he's going to make us some food.
Yeah, well, Taylor, you're going to be disappointed because I'm just doing it for my immediate family. I'm not,
Take that, Taylor.
Well, I'm just, I'm not
Taylor's
burning up.
Charlotte.
I'm not burning up all my time, what little it is to do.
Sure.
Like I'd love to do a brisket, but that's an 18-hour.
That's a
labor of love.
That's also
I'm
work.
going to make it easy for you. You deserve one thing.
Okay.
And that's a juicy steak.
I was thinking about
make it simple. Don't overwork yourself.
Well, I was thinking about a tomahawk steak.
Oh.
And the other thing I was thinking about is just lightly seared after it's marinated all night. Ahi tuna steak about as thick as a truck tire. But it's raw in the just sear and serve.
I love that
It's
stuff.
like sushi, right? I could eat a truck tires worth of that.
I was going to say, you do it right now.
But I'm thinking about smoking some wings. I don't know. I want to do something different. I feel like I'm doing the same things.
Hold up. So switch up the wings then. How about you smoke them first and flash fry?
I think that's what I'm very seriously considering smoking. Yeah.
And flash fry?
I'm going to. Anyway.
What's your salsa preference with smoked wings?
If they're good enough, you don't need sauce.
That's true. That's a good point.
Seriously.
That's a good point. A little bit of ranch.
Like, I'm going to get a shout out right now to a place in the borough, Slick Pig.
Okay.
Man, they have some incredible smoked wings.
I know when you grit your teeth like that, you mean
he don't open his mouth.
They don't need anything. Like, yeah, you can get Alabama white sauce or whatever you want, but they don't need. They just need you to eat them. That's it.
That's
it's over.
True.
Speaking of firsts, I want to ask you guys this question.
Okay.
This is a first for me. And we're talking bye week stuff, so it's not exactly sports right here for a second.
Okay.
Have either of you heard of an artist named Zania Monet?
No.
Zania Monet? No.
I haven't.
I know Janelle Monet.
I think it's Zania. It's Xania
Never heard of that.
Monet.
Okay.
Zania Monet is an R&B newcomer who is sitting at number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100, and she's AI.
Get out.
She's not even a real
That's
person.
not
Oh,
okay.
wow.
AI.
AI
Don't
music.
like that. What? By the way, Jimmy Jam is supposed to be on 92Q tomorrow morning, too, by the way. The Sissy just told
Jimmy
me.
Jam?
And
Of Terry Lewis
Terry
and
Lewis,
Jimmy?
both of them are supposed to be in the studio tomorrow. I told her to tell you.
And I won't be here.
Yeah.
But guess what? That's okay. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis in 92Q. You're talking about all of the good things.
Yeah.
90s R&B and hip hop. Like, they were it. You wanted to get your records produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I mean, you had New Jack Swing, all that stuff. Those, I mean, you're talking about my youth now. But yeah, Miss Janet, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, like all of that. But yeah, so this artist is the first AI generated artist written by Mississippi poet Talisha Nikki Jones.
Wow.
Voiced by machine learning and charted with the help of programmers from several different radio conglomerates.
I do not like that.
I don't like that at all.
Do not like that.
No, I'm here to hate on that.
So,
I'm gonna be real with you.
Number 30 on Billboard's adult R&B airplay chart, first AI artist to ever do it. Number 1 on R&B digital song sales. Number 3 on R&B hip hop digital sales. Number 22 across all genres. 44.4 million streams and counting.
That's not okay.
This is ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
I tell you what it is in a
Governor
word
Landry.
is scary.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
Wow.
I was told to give you some crap about only cooking for immediate family, too, by the way. Heard that's
By
not
who?
okay.
By who?
Allison. Say it. Go ahead. Huh? Go ahead. And Allison Warren, she wants you to cook for us. You got a few days off, and you need to bring us some hams. It's almost turkey season, Red.
The big boss is outing me.
Big boss said, listen, tighten up over here. Not just the team, life.
Well, hey, big boss, tomorrow is just the third day I've had off in about 52 days.
Yeah.
I'm a little tired.
Well, you can sleep and roast some meats and bring them to us.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
Sleep and roast some meats.
I'm not touching it.
Thanks, Allison.
I'm not touching any of it.
And dang it, Taylor Zarzer started this crap on the air.
Because I've been with Rhett on these trips and seen the work in studio as well.
Yeah, put
You know what? I'm not cooking this weekend.
That's funny.
Now you're going to
Wink,
starve.
wink, nod, nod.
We need to get Rhett's delivery app of preference to get him an endorsement between now and this week.
I know. I'm going to hurt you I'm going to hurt me to abuse you is what he's choosing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, you want to eat? None of us are eating. Doggone it.
But man, you make me want to flash fry some wings and smoke them too now, right?
Well, I love to do this in some spare time. Now, off season, man, I'll smoke something for 2 or 3 days.
Snoop Dogg
I'm
said.
fine. Well, I mean, that's kind of different. I don't have for the brisket I'd be smoking, there's not a rolling paper large enough. So
although there's wrapping paper to put it back on. Okay, all right, not rolling paper.
Yeah, butcher paper is the paper I prefer, and to put it into a dry cooler and let it do its thing. Oh, I know. He's
Lord help me.
Yeah.
He will if you get high enough.
This is the same. Hey, now he's embarrassed. Now let's take inventory here real quick.
It's my turn now. All right.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Let's take inventory real quick. This is a guy that's embarrassed right now, but played a snippet of the SNL Predator sketch that was done last Saturday
Yeah, absolutely.
night with Miles Teller.
We walked up to the line. I hope we didn't go over it. We walked up to the line.
No. You're right there at the edge. You didn't jump off the edge.
We played the tamest joke that SNL made about the Nashville Predators.
You still got it, Hawk? Or you ain't got
no, I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again.
I don't want to do it again.
No, don't tell. It's better if you don't say it so you don't get fired, J-Hawk, okay? We're trying to protect you. You already got
Look,
wrecked.
the Preds started this when they made those T-shirts in the offseason when they went to the hospital and said that they're Preds in the community. They started this. That's what it's coming from.
Wait a minute. Did that really happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
They had T-shirts.
They had players go to a hospital and they wore shirts and they said Preds in the community.
So then SNL made fun of it and said that they're Predators in the community.
And
it's not towing the line. The Predators did it.
I had someone tell me this. I had someone tell me this week that the connection there is, I believe there is a cast member or a writer that is a Nashvilleian.
Oh, really?
And I think they went to maybe Trevecca or something.
Trevecca's
Can't
nice
remember.
campus too.
But
all you hear is the Predators in the streets. Oh no,
I'm done.
And there we go.
And that was talking hockey.
And I'm over you right now, Justin.
Hey, now.
Lost 3-2 last night.
Yeah, they did.
Meanwhile, let's talk about the NFL trade deadline and the record number of trades
When we
that
come
happened.
back, we're going to do a trip around the AFC South, including here locally, taking stock of where things sit in the Titans bye week, a checkpoint halfway through the year. What is working and what is not working around the division, and the massive trade the Indianapolis Colts made yesterday. Jaguars also making a little bit of an under-the-radar move we haven't yet discussed. We'll do all that with Titans Radio's executive producer, Rhett Bryan, in studio after this.
Work. It's what we do. Part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. The Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Hour number 4, Rhett Bryan in studio, Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins spinning the hits. So, yesterday, Rhett, the Indianapolis Colts shook the NFL, trading for Sauce Gardner, didn't they? This was on no one's radar yesterday.
Let's just first of all, let's take it from a 30,000-foot view. So 8 excuse me, good Lord. I don't know what's
You're
wrong with me.
choked up about it.
Yes, I am. 8 total trades on the day of the deadline, matches second highest in the last 35 years of activity. 1990 is the last time I think they had 8. Anyway, but yeah, several things you could look through and go, okay, that makes sense. That, Rashid Shaheed, you'd heard been shopped, and him going to Seattle. Seattle's a good ball team. We're going to see them in a couple of weeks. That makes sense there. Jacoby Myers to Jacksonville makes total sense because Travis Hunter is on short-term IR, and then Brian Thomas Jr. did something with an ankle, I think, in the last game.
Yes, and he's not playing well even when he's healthy.
Yeah, he's had some dropsy issue anyway. But the shot heard around the world was the Indianapolis Colts. Now, a couple things with this. First of all, they don't have to do a sign and then trade because Ahmad Sauce Gardner's already getting the bag, so they've got him under contract for another 4 years. The other part of it, though, you give up next year's one, the following year's one. A.D. Mitchell, I figured, would be when they said, and also an additional player. I said, I bet it's A.D. Mitchell after his blunder the other couple weeks ago.
Man, they ain't forget that.
Yeah, they didn't. But it tells me a couple things. One, they have pushed all the chips in the middle of the poker table, and they're opening the sash to that Super Bowl window and with authority. They're like, we believe we're this close. And quite honestly and frankly, though it's not reality, we're a little over halfway through. If the playoffs start today, they're the number 1 seed in the AFC with a bye. So
it's insane.
There's that. And the question is, does this offense sustain its prowess in scoring 30-plus points per game as it has been doing? The other thing it tells me, actually, there's 3 things. The second thing it tells me is it makes sense because they have been decimated by injury in the back third of that defense. They got some heavy hitters that are on IR that are not designated. Right. So, and then you're getting a lockdown corner in this. I mean, it just doesn't happen against him. No. Like, he's ridiculously good. The last part of it is long-term. It tells me that, and I'm sure that this has been in the works for a couple of, maybe, I don't know how many weeks now, because Daniel Jones is playing really, really well. He is this year's example of Sam Darnold.
For sure.
With, ironically, both of them were in Minnesota last year, so something happened there at the land of 1,000 legs, 10,000 legs.
Ponds. They're ponds.
But, yeah, that too. So that tells me that there is something in the works for him to get a massive extension to continue to be the quarterback going forward into 2026 and beyond. That's what all of this tells me. Otherwise, you're not. Yes, I understand Sauce Gardner is a one of one, and you're giving up the world to get his services, but he's under contract. But that also tells me you feel good about the things around him because Jonathan Taylor is under long-term contract.
Yep.
You have Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner under long-term contract. You have a lot of your core players.
Offensive line.
Yeah, exactly. So that tells me that maybe not now, maybe not at the end of the year, but at some point, Daniel Jones is going to get the bag off of a 1-year, $14 million prove-it deal.
You knew at that number right there that they were somewhat serious about him too. Like for a backup, that's a serviceable salary for a guy.
Absolutely. No, now let's take it a step further. Anthony Richardson has not developed a lot because he has not been available.
For sure.
He is at the end of his rookie contract very soon, and I looked it up per over the cap last night. No dead cap hit if you release him in 2026. So there's the rest of it right there. So there's a lot of moving parts to that. But the biggest one is that, hey, I think we got something special in Indy. Let's load the wagons.
It's a fascinating approach because Sauce Gardner according to a lot of the numbers and the stats. And again, it's hard to judge with how bad that defense has been since Robert Saleh was fired. It has not been the same all-pro level corner that he was his first 2 seasons of the NFL. And again, that's another position that is hard to judge overall success when it is thrown your way so little if you are so good and there are other weaknesses on the team. It's like offensive line in that it's just a really hard position to analyze statistically. The Pro Football Focus grade can't just be the only way, right? The primary thing. But they are hoping, Rhett, that he turns back into 2023 Sauce Gardner, not 24 and 25 Sauce Gardner. That is a fascinating case study in nature versus nurture. How much does being on a better football team just raise your morale, raise your level of competitiveness, raise your work ethic, and all of these other things? Oh, and by the way, you're in a Lou Anarumo defense to where if you want to play a Lou Anarumo style where you're sending pressure from all places, you got to have corners that can be on islands and win one-on-one. And Sauce is 100% that.
Yeah, and what you say about him and his play on the field is fair. He has not been the same guy in the last 18 months.
He's still pretty dang good.
Oh, he's ridiculous. The other thing you say about nature versus nurture and change of scenery, he just went from purgatory to the penthouse.
No doubt about it.
Like, this dude woke up winning this morning going, wait a minute. I've got some dudes that I'm going to go saddle up with and let's go ride. The other thing is I'm glad Titans don't have to play him again.
That's also true.
That's true.
I am.
Very true.
If I'm being honest, I'm glad that is not a thing. And I'm not saying one guy makes everything, but he shores up the back third of a Colts defense that has been for weeks, bend, don't break. Now, they got chopped pretty good in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They did. But they'd given up. They were notable for giving up explosive plays, just not breaking and giving up scoring plays, and also forcing turnovers to give it back to their offense, which is averaging 30-plus points a game. But this is something to solidify some stuff on the back third of that, because they're good at the first two-thirds of that.
And to me, and we had this conversation earlier, Will and I, to me, the Sauce move is more of the threat of what he is. Who was the DB when they got a couple years ago that was the Defensive Player of the Year?
The Colts?
Yeah, the Colts.
Stephon Gilmore?
Gilmore. Yeah. It's like the Gilmore effect almost. When you think you got something, like you go get him. Like, good thing is for them, Sauce Gardner's young already. Even if it doesn't work out this year, you still got him in place for the next few years. And also, you look at this situation, you almost got to wonder, like I put in our group chat last night, me, Will, and J-Hawk, I was thinking to myself, well, that means the Titans got to go get a wide receiver in round 1. You got to fight your division first. I think this is the first step of the Colts trying to do this against what the Houston Texans are, what Brian Thomas Jr. and also Travis Hunter are for the Jaguars. And you got to fight this arms race moving forward with what your division opponents are doing. I think Sauce kind of puts them in that conversation, even if he's not been as good late. And also the idea that they got rushing coverage too. Even if he's been bad, I think marginally he'll be better because those guys that Andy got can get after the quarterback good enough too to give him time to cover.
I would somewhat agree with what you're saying there. It just depends when we get 6 months down the road. Is the greater need or talent after them fleshing everything out and set their board in the war room? Is it pass rusher? Is it receiver?
Yeah.
And is it one of those years where is the receiver, the skill position stuff, it's going to have fluctuation in talent pools every year, but there's, this sounds very stereotypical, but it's true. With 7-on-7 football, skill position players, there's a pipeline of them. There's going to be.
For sure.
So if there's just an end-all, be-all stud pass rusher, I just wonder if, it's what the thought process
no
is.
doubt.
But no, you're right in these other teams and the divisions have loaded the wagons with quarterbacks. And because, look, all of them have been bad at some point to get those top picks to make this kind of stuff happen. But it is an arms race. You're right. You're absolutely right. But this, that trade right there got everyone's attention.
Okay. You know another part of this too?
Go.
If this is the other side, you packing up Anthony Richardson and trying to get something for him pre-draft?
I don't think you can get anything for Anthony Richardson because he hasn't been available enough to have a sample size.
Jeez.
That's just my opinion. Like, I don't know what the prognosticators or the evaluators, the other places.
Oh, no doubt about it. I think you're right.
I think if he was healthy,
there's a big enough sample size.
I think if he was healthy, they would have already done it.
Yeah. I do, especially by this point.
With desperation now and guys and teams needing backup quarterbacks and teams like Minnesota being so willing to have a project, have someone to have over on the side to work with. I think it's too heavy of a price for a team quarterbacked by Daniel Jones, but I admire the boldness of being either all in or all out on going for it or going for a rebuild.
No doubt.
And so I don't agree with the way Indy did it, but I respect it.
And the Jets, man, 5 number ones in the next 2 years.
I think they were the biggest winner of the day with how they set themselves up and got 2 teams to overpay for their stars. Like, because I don't always believe that it's the best thing to give up a sure thing for a lottery ticket sometimes in draft picks.
Well, you need a quarterback, and that's what they,
Exactly.
I'm not knocking Justin Fields, but
that's the point.
Are they smitten or going to be smitten with Mendoza at Indiana, or is it who is it? Like,
or are they picking third and behind 2 QB needy teams and they got to have ammo to go get a quarterback, even if they don't draft it? Like, can you package together one of your future ones and your current one to go get who's going to be the veteran quarterback available? Like, you could have been in the Matthew Stafford or Geno Smith sweepstakes this past year with a situation like that. And obviously, I know Geno Smith hasn't been great in Vegas, and now there's talks. You guys see the thing of there's talks of like Pete Carroll might be one and done in Vegas. I saw reports of that and conversation about that yesterday. That John Spytek may want to go get his own guy.
Well, here's the other thing. You've got a quarterback situation that's developed in Arizona as well, because
you do.
Jonathan Gannon came out as his presser yesterday and says Jacoby Brissett is the guy the rest of the way. Now, part of that is injury with Kyler Murray, but I think there's more behind that story. I read The Athletics. Dane Brugler put out the midseason all-rookie team, and he has Cam Ward as runner-up at quarterback behind Jackson Dart, and he's got his reasons in here. The thing I was a little disappointed in is when he got to the specialists at the end, he had – who did he have? Sorry. My apologies.
All good.
Kicker Ryan Fitzgerald of the Carolina Panthers, who was undrafted, and then punter Jeremy Crawshaw of the Denver Broncos, who's a 6th-round pick.
Guy,
I'm like, where's Chim Dike?
Yeah,
like,
wow.
Weird.
Because Chim Dike is tracking right now to be a Pro Bowler.
For sure.
The touchdown did it. The punt return touchdown, absolutely. In my opinion, and how hard that play is, how much he's done at
it's
a
the first one in
too.
Titans in 13 years.
That's huge.
That's how hard that is.
That's huge right there. I thought that solidified him as a Pro Bowler. Only thing I can think, Rhett, is as to why is because not enough eyes and not enough.
I think that's some of it. I think that's some of it.
Eyes and losing. I mean, and seeing eyes and losing.
Rhett, when you look around the division and at this point of the Titans season, the Titans halfway done with their AFC South schedule. Still have to see Jacksonville twice and Houston one more time at home. Of course, that's the next time we'll be at Nissan Stadium is next Sunday hosting the Houston Texans. We'll talk more about them next week. I wanted to talk a little bit about Jacksonville and the Jacoby Myers trade they made yesterday, bringing him in. You mentioned briefly the injuries to Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. Yep. You have a quarterback in Trevor Lawrence that is playing okay. Maybe hasn't statistically had the massive leap forward like other Liam Cohen quarterbacks have when he gets his hands on them the way Baker Mayfield did in Tampa. But what is working and not working? When you look at Jacksonville and you look at their stock and where their stock has risen or fallen, pretty clearly it's risen at 5-3 after an OT win in Vegas and a kick from the Nevada state border, pretty much where Cam Little kicked it over the weekend. And what stands out about the Jags at this point, a team we've not talked a ton about?
Well, first of all, Cam Little, 68-yard field goal, new record. Somebody's going to hit a 70. It might even be this season.
Honestly,
that's inevitable, I think, at some
point.
Too. I'll tell you what I think is good about Jacksonville is their two-headed monster approach at the running backs. Like ETN and Bashal Tutin, the rookie from Virginia Tech. That's a good combo right there. That's why they were able to move Tank Bigsby and ship him in a trade to the Eagles. That's one of the first things that stands out. I think the other is I think they're trying to figure out what they have in the wide receiver core, especially right now, obviously, with the trade of Jacoby Myers because of those injuries we talked about. We don't know. First injury reports come out this afternoon. I don't know what Brian Thomas Jr. is going to look like, and I believe that was an ankle, but he's had his issues. He's been up and down in year two. And that's why I think, what is it? Is it Brenton Strange, their tight end?
Brenton Strange, Parker Washington also in there.
Those two guys I see on the film more than anybody.
Underrated. Yeah, I agree.
But Strange he's like getting to be a really good target for Trevor Lawrence in that offense. But I would point to the run game, and then obviously they've invested so much in draft picks and capital and defense. Like, defense is getting after it.
Absolutely. Houston, on the other hand, has gone in the other direction at 3-5. Their defense is what we expected. Number one scoring defense is in the league at 15.1 points per game, 24th in scoring offense. I looked at their schedule last night on who they still have to play.
Uh-oh.
They still have to play Buffalo, Indy twice, at Kansas City, and at the LA Chargers.
And currently, C.J. Stroud is in concussion protocol, got his bell rung on Sunday. And that is, I mean, listen, I think we said this weeks ago before the first time the Titans went to Houston to see them. The biggest Achilles heel they have is what is their offensive line. I think once they get that figured out to let C.J. Stroud cook, I think it's dangerous for everybody involved, not just in the division. But I just don't know what that's going to look like because they have shuffled and they have thrown draft picks at it and they've traded guys and they've traded away guys. And I think they're still trying to figure out that formula. To your point, I was looking at the remaining strength of schedule for every NFL team. The Houston Texans' 14th toughest schedule the rest of the way out. You know who's number one in that? The Buffalo Bills. You know who has the easiest schedule the rest of the way out? The Philadelphia Eagles, the defending world champions.
Yeah.
Titans have the 26th easiest, Indianapolis 21st, Jacksonville 6th toughest to finish their season.
Wow.
Of course the Eagles do.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It is weird.
The Eagles, as they say in Philly.
We were talking about this earlier, too, real quick on the Texans.
Yeah.
Their two rookie Iowa State receivers, Jalen Noel in the third round, Jaden Higgins in the second round. Those two have combined for 2 less yards than Alec Iamanair by himself.
How about that?
321 yards between Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins. Now, obviously, they have a Nico Collins to throw to.
That's right.
For a lot of this season, Alec Iamanair has been the guy when Calvin Ridley has been hurt. So, context matters. I'm not trying to dunk on him, but again, we talk about how this team needs draft picks, and they got more with Draymond Jones trade and with the Roger McCreary trade. If you piece together another draft cost like this one, this team is going to get better.
And you have the most money to spend in free agency in 2026.
That's right.
You can, you're not going to get well, but you can start to turn the corner pretty quick.
No doubt.
You can hit the turn and go down to back nine and make a birdie or here or
Will
two.
language now.
One other thing on the Texans, they have not been able to maintain, establish, and keep a run game going. Like, no Joe Mixon has been detrimental to them.
Yes.
Woody Marks has had some moments where he's shown up in this thing, but they don't have a consistent runner that is a huge threat, and I think that's part of their issue. How many times has C.J. Stroud been sacked?
17 times, which is honestly lower than I expected coming into the season.
Honestly, I thought the same thing because Cam's been sacked 38 times. Now, some of those are on him, but I thought it would be a number somewhat closer to that.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Good stuff as always with Rhett Bryan in studio on this Wednesday during a bye week. Thank you for coming in, hanging out with us.
I'm glad to, and I guess I'll be cooking for everyone in the world this weekend.
Also, real quick, do you think most everybody injured might be back after the bye? Might be. Just a loose answer.
I think there's a good chance you get Big Jeff back. I think there's a chance you get a bunch of those guys. I certainly hope so. Honestly, for me, the big one is Jeff Simmons. If you can get Big Jeff back, I think you can. Because if Big Jeff is in that ball game Sunday, there's more than a handful of 5 sacks, 6 sacks, whatever it was. There's more like 9 with him up there just tearing stuff up. And with the departure of Draymond Jones, you need him back in that.
You need Arden back.
You do need Arden back.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you do. And because what I want to see is I want to see T. Sweat. I want to see Tavondre and Jeff get some time together because they have not had very much at all.
Right.
Agreed. Love it. Brett Bryan, thank you, sir.
Y'all have a good one.
Coming up, one of the teams I irrationally hate is playing a home-and-home with the Tennessee Volunteers. We'll tell you about it next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Volunteer Traditions, man. Well, I just want you to know I've been laced from head to toe, literally, with all tradition when it comes down to the apparel that they supply us with. And honestly, go buy. I want to tell anybody, if you are around this area, you need to go see the store. The store is amazing. It's a beautiful brick store in Gallatin, Tennessee, and it's they got everything that you want, man. Cool weather, warm weather, doesn't matter, Will. They'll get you together whether you like it or not.
They've got you covered for football season. They've got you covered for basketball season. The Basket Vols merch that they've dropped, the crew neck sweatshirts, the hats, the hoodies. They've got this new hat, Ramon, that is orange performance material with a white rope on the front and the Rifleman VOLS outlined in black. That's calling my name. VolunteerTraditions.com, where you go to check it out. They've been making Tennessee apparel since 06. I was rocking the dark mode sweatshirt in Neyland Stadium on Saturday. Make sure you grab some for you for the holiday season that's coming up. They can take care of that as well online at VolunteerTraditions.com. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, wrapping up the show. Some Titans nuggets from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. And the team that I'm the biggest hater of is going to play Tennessee again.
Duke?
Tennessee basketball announcing, no, I don't irrationally hate Duke. Any dislike I have for them is rational. The home series with Tennessee basketball next year in early December, the Purdue Boilermakers.
Are they really?
Can't wait for them to have another 7'8" player that I'm just going to hate. Actually, you know what? I've said so many mean things about Purdue already in this segment. Zach Edey's at the free throw line.
Yes, he is.
Zach Edey's taking 2 shots.
He's 0 for 1.
Yep, and there's he split the free throws. December 12th, 2026 at Mackey Arena. December 11th, 2027 at Thompson Bowling Arena at Food City Center.
I hate this team.
We always have this topic in the offseason, like, who's the team you rationally hate? Purdue. Purdue's the team except it's kind of rational because they kind of have Tennessee's number in basketball.
They kind of have it at this point. Well, when you got a 7-footer that's playing like a small guard at times, that'll do it for a shoot like one, efficient like one.
Officials lose their minds when Tennessee plays Purdue. I don't know why, but they lose their minds because Lamonte Turner didn't foul Carson Edwards, and Zach Edey is once again off that comment back at the free throw line.
They're boiling.
Are you proud of yourself?
Kinda.
That's good.
I'll take it.
That's good. Well done.
What is
well
no, it wasn't.
ESPN's Jeremy Fowler says on ESPN.com the Titans had interest from teams on Chig Okonkwo and Calvin Ridley, but they needed something significant to part with offensive playmakers for their rookie quarterback Cam Ward. Adding they weren't eager to trade either one for that reason, saying Tennessee was a bit stuck because while it badly needed more draft capital for the future, it didn't want to engage in late day 3 pick swaps of little value. Plus, its biggest asset, defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons, was off limits. So the Titans squeezed value where they could, getting a pair of 5th-round picks from the Roger McCreary and Draymond Jones trades, while sending a conditional late 6th rounder to Los Angeles with McCreary.
You did what you could. That's essentially what that is. I mean, you loved him, but nobody else loved him, so why take a sucker deal? You got to give Borgonzi a shout-out for that one. I mean, that's essentially what it was.
Yep.
Sounds like they would have been traded.
They would have, but it wasn't good enough.
For a premium.
Yeah, for
That's
a premium.
right. I mean, to your point, right. Like, what would you loved him, but no one else loved him?
What do you think he's asking for him? That he's not going to trade him for like a 4th?
Not a swap.
It had to have been a 4th.
A pick without having to send one back, I think is what Fowler's saying. And I don't know if Chig was worth that.
You love him, but we don't like him like that. It's essentially what teams are telling them.
Calvin could have gotten you a pick, I think, if he was healthy.
You think so?
I do.
I think he probably would have gone to the Chiefs. They were reportedly interested in maybe trading a 3rd-round pick, 4th-round pick for a wide receiver.
Maybe.
That'd be rich for
Depends
him.
on how much you were willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
If you were covering all the salary, maybe, but that's going to cost you.
That's pretty rich.
Mike Borgonzi speaks in 10 minutes. You'll hear it live on the Lucas Panzica and Robert Walsh show, since Buck can't be bothered to come into work this week like the rest of us.
To it.
What do you want to hear from Mike Borgonzi coming up in 10 minutes?
I already know what I'm hearing from Mike Borgonzi.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Like him, he's a tank. I don't know if you're going to get much out of him. Well, who called you? Oh, we had a lot of calls. Well, did anybody inquire about Jeffrey Simmons? Yeah, they did. We didn't want to move him. Okay. What would it have taken? Well, I don't know. We had offers all across the board, but nothing sufficient enough to move on from Jeffrey Simmons.
By the way, still listen, even though Ramon just gave you all the answers. So we will get out of here a minute early here in a second.
I say that, though, because, again, this is how you want it to be.
Yeah, for sure. It's not the GM's job to give all the answers to the test. It's his job to ace the test.
And any GM that's telling you he's got all the answers or just trying to make you feel good about what they're doing is just totally different, though, anyway.
Sure.
So,
no, you don't want your GM to give away all the answers.
No.
But
I'm going to listen still.
We'll be interested to learn what Mike Borgonzi has to say today.
I hope he comes out in such a chatty patty.
You're going to hear that coming up after the break.
Do it for me,
The Buck
Mike.
Rising Show will begin with Mike Borgonzi's presser. Coming up tomorrow morning, no Coach Mack, but we will have Titans Radio's Taylor Zarzer to preview Vanderbilt and Auburn, which he is on the call for on the SEC Network, and to talk about the Tennessee Titans. Of course, we will have the Thursday 3. We'll have Mike Keith on a bye week, bright and early, 6 a.m. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
Remember, as I did earlier, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot, baby.